Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We are back from our PAX expedition, and unfortunately last week we were not able to broadcast because we were, for the most part, flying. I know I was flying.
You were flying, that's true.
I was. That made it
literally
different. It wasn't great. It's, as flying never is. I am so happy not to be flying, I think, for at least the next 2 months. Someone was
nice. Lots of home time.
That feels good.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does. I actually had what was it? I had a publisher say, "Oh, do you want to come out to Seattle?" But nope, I don't want to do that.
Didn't even get to finish the sentence. Just stop.
No. I don't want to do any of those things. Do you want to come out and see our game? I'm not flying 5 hours to see a game. I'm really sorry. Like, if I refuse to go to Iceland to party with Paradox and see all their crazy, great, cool stuff, then I'm certainly not coming to Seattle to see your... Yeah, I heard it was. I heard it was great. I'm certainly not coming to Seattle to see your one game. I'm sorry. I hate flying far too much for that. It makes me want to... Oh... I don't even want to follow that up with anything. It's just horrendous.
Go on.
Jesse Cox, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi everybody. How's it going? I am excited. I'm happy. I'm happy to be back doing this. This is always fun.
Yeah.
Big thank you to everyone at the live podcast. Although TV was like, terrible show. I enjoyed the ball. I thought it was great.
It was an awful show. Like we put on a dreadful show. Let's be honest.
Everyone said they love it.
It's
everyone was like, that looks great. It was fun.
It was shot really well, too. I was really happy with how it wound up looking.
The Polaris guys did a good job. I think the only thing I would have liked to see more is maybe more crowd pans. What I wanted to do as I was coming out was actually to shoot a little Vine video or something like that, and I felt like
I was going to do that as I crawled out from under the table. I was going to have my gear.
that was one of the best things you could have done. What I thought was going to happen is if I ran out from backstage, I would just lose control of my phone and just throw it at the wall.
You just trip, just eat shit. It would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been exactly what would have happened. I can pretty much guarantee it. So that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's fun. I like doing live shows. I think we should do more of them. They're wonderful.
I agree.
I like
everyone
it.
knows that I can't spell, so...
Yeah, photo, F.
And everyone knows what Egoraptor looks like now.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm sorry, but if you
yes. The Egoraptor kid.
That was
Love
great.
that dude.
So I was like, why are we so mean to him? It's like, it seemed like the best thing to do at the time. I'm sorry.
Also, I like the guy who I gave crap for because he stood in line for like 25 minutes and then it was like, I'm Dixon Cox. You should sell food. I was like, what?
That was you stood in line for 25 minutes to make that joke.
That's dedication. I like that guy. Dedication.
Yeah, we need to do something about when we do our panels, just something with our Q&A, because we never get through enough people, and I think it's my fault. I'm just saying, like, when they ask you a question, you answer in about 10 seconds, quite succinctly. I, on the other hand, no. It's just 5 minutes of
You're very
talking.
eloquent. You have a lot of opinions. Jesse and I don't think a lot. So...
At all, really.
Really, I mean,
really at all. So
it's just bacon all the time.
We brought a traitor into our midst, incidentally.
You're not talking about me, are you?
He's from a foreign country. They call that country Machinima, I believe.
It's true, yeah. I am a Machinimite.
Yes. Yeah, for those, because I just want to address this right now, because I've had a lot of questions about it. I stopped giving a shit about the whole we stay with a network thing as soon as I rebranded the show to not be called The Game Station anymore. So I don't care. At all. I'm just bringing on guests that I like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet of you to say.
NorthernLion, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's true. It's not Billy Corgan, the lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins, or Canadian Carl Pilkington. Me, NorthernLion. I'm just watching the chat right now. The ball jokes are
don't do that.
falling out
It's
of
a
control.
really bad idea.
Who is this guy?
It's like you'd think that the chat
orange-headed
quality
buffoon.
would increase because we charge people for it. No.
All right.
It's
I will
just a bunch of
move the
rich
Skype window.
idiots now. It's just the way of it.
In any case, though, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for co-opting me for the co-optional podcast.
And there you go.
Happy to
Finally, someone understands that my choice of name has many layers.
I looked it up on dictionary.com, I have to admit. I'm a little embarrassed, but...
Every time I make a name for a show, everyone's like, that's a dumb name. And then two months later, they realize that I put a lot of thought. It's like, oh, that's so clever. It's like, fuck you guys. Trust me in the first place. God damn it. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. We occasionally talk about video games. Coming up in the show, we'll be talking about what we've been playing. Of course, we will also be recapping PAX, because we only got to recap one day of it on the Co-optional Podcast panel, which was actually the final Game Station Podcast panel, because we couldn't change the name. Like, we registered the panel about 6 months ago before we changed the name. So I was like, yep, still the Game Station Podcast panel. That will change for the next one. I assume we're probably going to do another. It seemed to go down pretty well.
I would assume so.
March.
Yeah.
Look, save your money. March 2014. Be there or be not there.
Boston PAX East.
Well said.
Well done.
I don't want to call them losers because they're watching.
PAX East is a
Be
pain
there,
in the
be
ass.
Be there or be losers.
I'm going to be honest, I definitely prefer PAX Prime, and I think it mostly comes down to the way that the convention center is set up, because everything's based around that kind of central spine, which is the escalators down the center of the convention center. PAX East is a fucking sprawl. Like, I have a meeting in one end of the convention center, and then I've got 5 minutes to get to a meeting room on the other end of the convention center. And there's absolutely no way that you could possibly organize your schedule not to do that, because they don't know what rooms they're in until about a day before the fucking show. So
Yeah.
that is not good.
But it seems like, I don't know, it was I felt like PAX East was a little more chill than Prime. I don't know why.
Maybe it was because of that
way.
very reason. Like, you have that central area that's just consistently flowing with people, and it's a bit more compressed, like it's stacked up on top of each other. I mean, that convention center was not big enough, that's clear. All the theaters had to be moved to hotels this year. All of them. So, like, wow, you can't even fit your theaters in here. This is crazy. Like, it's pretty clear, and now you've extended to 4 days because you can't get enough people into that over the course of 3 days, so you went for 4.
Right.
So,
4 days is nuts, by the way. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. I was so exhausted and beat by the end of that.
Oh, man. Do
4 days was a lot.
Gamescom. So the first time I did Gamescom, 5 days, 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day, and the colon messer is about 2 miles long. And I'm not exaggerating. It's huge. There was 7 exhibition halls, innumerable meeting halls, and entire vast spaces that were taken over by single publishers. Like, the EA area has a fucking security desk, is entirely curtained off. When you go in there, it's a giant bar. And behind the bar, there's like 20 meeting rooms. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Gamescom is just something else, and there's more people there than there is at PAX. It's nuts. But I totally get what you mean. After day 4, I was strongly considering, like, blowing off some appointments, because I'm just like, I am fucking exhausted. This is so tiring. I know it sounds easy. Hey, go to a show and play video games. That is not what it is. Not at all. Not for us, anyway. Well, it is for Jesse, but not for us.
No, it's a lot of hard work to go around and get as much swag as humanly possible. That is tough, man. That last day, I kissed so much Warner Brothers ass to get all the stuff they gave me. I was like, look, what do I gotta do right now?
Oh, you had to kiss their ass?
Your...
They were begging us to take it. It's just like...
Oh my god. No, they were like, here, take one. I was like, no, man, what can I do to get all your daylight shirts? All of them. What can I do? And they were like, come back at 5:45 Monday. I'm like, okay. At 5:44, I was standing at the desk. He's like, remember me? They're like, oh, God. And I was like, please. They were like, here, and just threw them all at me, and I was walking out.
To be fair, you were doing them a favor at the end of that, man. Really, let's be honest. You were really doing them a favor there.
So it's literally, the only reason why I get all the stuff is because at the end of the year, during the holiday season, I give it all away. Because what the hell am I going to do with that garbage? So the hunt is why I do it. I'm like a dog chasing cars.
Hungry like the wolf, yeah. I get you.
It's the reason I want it, so I can say I got it. Then it just sits in a box downstairs, so I'm like, I'm giving it all away, whatever. That's how you do it. So then you don't have to actually give away good things. You just give away lots of really shitty things. Dink.
That's funny. I was having a conversation with a friend about that mentality, like whether or not people who stand in line because they really, really want that swag should feel angry with people that just get the swag because they want to say that they got the swag.
No, they're dumb. Like, I'm sorry. If you're gonna if you really want the swag, like it's a specific shirt that you really, really want, you shouldn't feel bad about anything. You're sitting in line for 3 hours for the privilege of advertising someone else's game for them.
Yes, that's the key. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about getting it because it's just the chase. But the people who, when Dodger, you were there when we were sitting in line for Borderlands 2, and it was like, it's gonna be 3 hours to get this shirt, and I was like, no. And then when we were like, can we just have the shirt and leave if you guys are gonna cut us off here? They're like, okay. Then everyone else in line was like, what the shit? Why? And same thing with Square Enix when they did their Final Fantasy 14 thing. They were like, it's gonna be about a 3 hour wait. I was like, no, not even worth my time. Like, there's infinitely better stuff than like the things you can wait long times for, and most of it you're waiting for a game you haven't even played yet. So it's like, I'm gonna advertise something I don't know if it's good or not because I got the shirt. Don't do that. No. There are other companies with way better stuff that you can get.
I've got to say, like, I do not generally take swag at those events. If you're trying to cover a game, I think it's probably a pretty bad idea. But on the flip side of that, I've heard journalists that have said, we ethically cannot take all of this stuff. And I understand that from a principle standpoint, but there are some that like go further and say, you would be biased. It's like, I'm not going to be biased because you gave me a fucking t-shirt. I've got a lot of gaming t-shirts. This is not going to make me...
Extremes.
Come on. You know, and every now and again, I'll just like have a t-shirt pressed in my hand. It's like, well, whatever, cool. I'll throw it on the pile of gaming t-shirts that I only ever wear if I have no intention of seeing people that day.
Yeah.
Here's what... This is how you make me biased, game developers. T-shirts won't do it. Give me a beer and a bunch of like notebooks and puzzles and shit. That I can deal with. I'm just saying. I like creative things.
I'll tell you what. At Gamescom, I think a couple of years ago, some guys got wise because in Germany, all the water is sparkling for no apparent reason, and it's horrible. So every booth that had still water, they knew it. And they made you work for that still water. It's like, here's a bottle of Evian. It's like, that's a 9 out of 10, right? Yeah, just give me the fucking Evian. Jesus, I need it. I can't have any more of this sparkling shit.
I love that creativity. I think like everyone who does pins and t-shirts and stuff, that's nice. Everyone does it though. Like,
I get the pin thing. The pin thing's are very much a PAX thing, and I get that totally because I could certainly see why people are interested in collecting them. It's cool. I couldn't give a toss, and I've probably got a couple of rare ones that are just sitting at the bottom of a bag somewhere that no one could ever get. But
like a really great example of really creative giveaways was Contrast had a light. And when you, it's just like a keychain light. When you push the light, it shows the shadow of the girl in the light.
That's slick.
I was like,
so cool.
That's freaking awesome.
Utterly useless, but cool. You know,
right?
It's a nice. I like to call that stuff memorabilia. Like, you know, I know that some people don't like the term swag because it's been co-opted by retards. But what we're talking about with this stuff is like, it's, you know, if you play something like Contrast, which is incredible, by the way, and I think it was my game of the show, and I'd like, of course, to ask the rest of you what your game of the show was, because we didn't really get a chance to do that in the podcast. We only played one day of it. But, like, something like that, it's a nice little piece of memorabilia, you know? I like that. I like that a lot. So, actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about PAX and our kind of game of the show and things like that, and then we can talk about what other games we've been playing this week. So, I'll start because I already mentioned Contrast. Like, Contrast was the game that I think spoke to me the most out of everything that I played there. There were a lot of good games that I played at PAX. I think it was probably the best year of PAX that I've done for just playing consistently good games. There is not one game that I played at PAX that I thought, oh god, I'm so unhappy to be here right now. Not one.
Lucky you.
Oh, wow. I'm looking forward to finding out what that was all about, but... Yeah, not one. It's like, maybe we just picked our games better this time around. Maybe Chris, kind of, who organizes all of the bookings and everything for us this time, knows a bit more about my taste so that he knew which ones to book. But we never got a single bad one. Contrast, just a tiny little booth, one computer, tucked away in the corner, Arcane guys show me this incredibly well put together puzzle platformer that's going to be launched at $15 price point. Like, it's a PS4 launch title. It's going to be on PC as well, for 6 hours of gameplay with a really nice use of a sort of shadow 3D to 2D mechanic, and excellent art style, fantastic music, amazing setting, and touches on some really grown-up issues, touches on issues about broken families and things like that, which I really love. I was just like, this is fucking awesome. This is what I come to shows to see. And I'm looking forward to putting that footage together, just to try and explain how good it is. And I'm looking forward to people telling me that Sony paid me off for it. It'll be great. So, Dodger, what was your game of the show? I've got to ask.
I'm trying to think through I did play Contrast, and I really, really liked it.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if there's a game that I played because Contrast definitely, it was interesting to play, and it also had such a whimsical element to it that kept me really engrossed.
Can I ask you a question? Did any of you guys actually just run around and explore in Contrast? Because for as whimsical as it was, there's something really effed up about that world.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Like besides the fact that your mom is a cabaret dancer in the red light district, or singer, if you run off the beaten path, if you turn a corner, the world's completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold the freaking phone. What does that mean? The guy was like, you'll have to play the game. I was like, you can't do that, mister.
Yeah, he showed me a bit of stuff that, he said, we'd prefer that you didn't film this because there's, some really crazy stuff going on here. And I'm like, whoa, there's way more to this.
And now I'm like, what is happening in this story? So it goes from being just, in a girl's mind to, crazy stuff is going on. And I can't wait to see because I am thrilled by that aspect. So... good on them. Contrast, great game.
That game was very cool. I really enjoyed Radioactive Superjoy. That game I played for quite a while.
Did you say Radioactive Superjoy or Electronic Superjoy?
Electronic Superjoy.
Electronic Superjoy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, I meant Radioactive.
It's like, please don't tell me they've made another version of it already. That game is fucking evil.
Look, we're making the same game.
Yeah, I played that for WTF Is 2 weeks ago, and it's evil. But I have been listening to the soundtrack for ages.
Right? Isn't it so good?
I loved about it.
Yes.
Oh, the soundtrack was so fantastic. And when I played it, it was cool. I love those moments when you're at a booth and there's a group of 4 people that are just rotating. I died, and passing it to the side. And we wound up doing that at that booth and trying to get through all of these different levels. And it was so much fun doing that. Just being like, oh, no, come on, man. Just all rooting for each other. So I played that for a while, and that was really, really fun. Obviously, Towerfall.
Yeah. Goes without saying.
I think maybe Contrast would be the one that, intrigued me the most out of all of the games that I played. I did play the Necrodancer game.
Oh, how was that? Because
that game is silly. There was a guy in front of me that everybody kept calling the Viking because he was this huge dude in a utilikilt.
The Viking.
All right. He was this huge dude in a utilikilt, and he had long red hair and a braided beard. And so they were like, Jesus. All right, there's the Viking. Viking's coming on up. He's going to play some Necrodancer. And I was like, oh, man. And that dude, blasted through that demo. It was crazy. He was just killing everything. And I was like, oh, man. And then I went up there, and I died so quick. I felt so ashamed. But the game itself is actually really fun. And I like that you don't have to play it with a DDR pad. You can play it with your keyboard. But basically, it's just there's music in the game, but you can put your own music in it, so you can play the game with whatever music you want. And then as long as you're moving along with the beat and doing attacks to the beat, then you get multipliers and boosts. So that was really fun. That was a fun game, but I was really sad that I died so quickly.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, NorthernLion, which is a really weird way of calling you. Should I just call you Ryan? That's probably for the best. I
think we should keep it branded. You should call me maybe Mr. NorthernLion.
Mr. NorthernLion, okay. Mr. NorthernLion LP on Twitter. There you go. Yeah, so you played Crypt of the Necrodancer, I think 2 months ago, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Either that or you stole a video, which I'm now currently stealing to show on screen, just FYI, just to complete the circle. But yeah, what do you think of it?
I think it's really good. I played it on the keyboard instead of the dance pad. It's one of those games that's really borderline impossible to play while talking about at the same time because it totally like takes you out of that flow state when you're trying to stay in the rhythm. But yeah, I like it a lot. I think the soundtrack's amazing. It's done by Danny B, the same guy who did the soundtrack for Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac and a bunch of other games. So like Electronic Superjoy, it's one of those games that I think has a really killer soundtrack, and I like it a lot so far.
Funnily enough, I actually played another game that has some Danny B stuff in it, and that is called Sound Dodger. Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Adult Swim are publishing now. It was a free game previously, and they added a bunch of music into it, including stuff by Danny B. And the Danny B stuff's great. And that game is just evil. It's a bullet hell that is driven entirely by music cues. And the sole purpose of it is dodge as much of that stuff as possible. But in the editor, you can essentially score any song you like. It doesn't do it automatically. You've got to do the cues yourself, but it's not that difficult to use. And you can just make the most evil, crazy shit. I've got, in the video, we made the most horrible thing we could possibly imagine, and it was just murder. But the soundtrack for that just blew me away. It's like, I probably won't even play the game, but I'll buy it for the soundtrack. There's no question. Yeah. Jesse, I gotta ask, what was your favorite game of PAX?
I had a lot that I really liked. There was a game Tengami that I thought was really creative.
Oh my god, that game was so cool. The flipbook game?
Yeah, it's basically like an iPad, iOS game, but I guess it's also coming to consoles. But the idea, I think they had a Wii U version of it as well. But basically, it's like an old Japanese tale told through a flipbook story, and the puzzles you solve, like there was one early on where it was a wolf was following you, and you had to get rid of the wolf. So in order to do it, you had to...
you say get rid of the wolf. It's like, that's adorable.
The
wolf.
I'm from the Midwest. Deal with it.
The wolf.
And so you had to, like, ring bells in a certain order, but it was the harmonics of how they each howled. And so they would stick around the tree and keep howling, and you could go back. But you had to keep flipping the pages and stuff while it was happening and pulling tabs on the... It was a very creative game, but I think visually is what was most impressive. It looked gorgeous. And so I really, really liked that game. And also their setup, because they had, like, flip books from the game created on the floor. I was like, cool. That's creative.
It's not a flick book, it's a pop-up book. Yeah, I was confused a bit. The pop-up books, I remember having those as kids. They were the best things ever. Like, pulling on the tab would make, like, a lion roar or something like that.
That's so beautiful.
Awesome. I'm looking at the trailer right now. It's like, yeah.
I love the art style. Everything about it is... That's what I meant, yeah. So I think you just saw the wolves on the screen there. I definitely loved that game. I got to play all of the Wolfenstein demo they had.
As did I. I was not impressed.
Here's the thing. It's right up my alley. I understand.
You love cutscenes, so there's shitloads of them.
I like the Wolfenstein story. I like all of it. So I'm thrilled by that. But I can't spoil any of it because you're right. It was a lot of cutscene and a lot of story. So I'm not going to say anything. I enjoyed it though.
You're the only person I know that really liked it.
Yeah.
That's because those things, like those types of games.
No taste.
Oh, please. Because it's fun. I understand.
It was fun for the 2 minutes it let me play it, and then the rest of it is like, here's some cutscenes, or, well, you gotta wait for these guys to talk before they open the door for you.
I like story. Hate that. You know me. I like story. Speedrunners is a game I played that I thought was really fun, but they kept handing off controllers to people, and I just kept getting my ass kicked. I was like, I swear to God. And then when I started winning, they were like, let the developers play. Got my ass kicked again. It's like, great. That's a fantastic game. Definitely you need other people to play it, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's about running against other people, and like you can trigger various things in the world, right, to make it more difficult for the guys behind you.
Yeah, so there's boxes on the ground that you can trip over, and there's spikes and things that can kill you, and you can also hook onto guys with like claw hooks and pull them back behind you. You can fire missiles and things. You can get speed boosts and all sorts of cool stuff. It's basically a race game, but it's a never-ending race game. So you and your friends are racing around this map, and when someone dies or something happens, the screen starts to shrink in on you, and this big red screen is blinking and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. And so it makes it harder for you to keep going till one of your friends dies and it's only 2 of you left and you keep going. It's basically a party game designed to make you hate your friends. It's fantastic.
That's the best kind. It seems like
Fantastic.
it's Mario
games,
Kart
yeah.
crossed with Dust Force or something along those lines.
Yeah, like it's really like what you're watching right now is just these two guys going at it. But I like the graphic style. I like how it's very simple yet really kind of cool looking.
It's colorful.
No one's died yet. But when people die, the screen shrinks and it's fantastic. That's when it gets like really frantic, and eventually it becomes like, how can you outrun the person behind you so that they hit the edge rather than you even trying to win? So you try to do like crazy jumps up and around so that the edge comes and hits them rather than you. It's really tactical at that point. So I was like, this is a pretty great game. What was there anything else that I played? Contrast. Everyone loved Contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I played a game, and I can't remember the name of it, and it was on the 6th floor, so it was like super indie, super early alpha, and it was basically if you took Guns of Icarus and then said, hey, we're going to put a fighting game in Guns of Icarus. So it was like 2 teams on airships jumping like airship to airship trying to fight each other, and I can't remember the name of the game to save my life. Maybe it was Mists of Stagnation? Maybe that's the name of it?
Mists of Stagnation wasn't a fighting game.
No, no.
Mists of Stagnation was a first-person shooter with a commander element, which is definitely not a fighting game.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Oh, sorry. You were being completely nondescript and useless.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Sorry.
Good to know.
I think that's what that was. And I was like, you put some polish on this. This can be really fun. And because I like that idea.
There's a long way to go on that game, though. Like, I played a bit of it as well. We couldn't even get it to record it at a proper frame rate, so like I'm having to play an alpha build later for it. But it is a first-person shooter with a commander element, as in the commander is this giant bathy suit that you get in, and you can issue some orders and do some upgrades and things.
I'm sorry?
It's a bathy
Yeah, what
suit.
is a bathy suit?
It
A
looks
bathy suit?
Yeah, do you know the old diving suits?
Yeah, no, it looks like
Isn't that what it's called?
Big Daddy?
I'm pretty sure it's called a bathy suit.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
almost certain that I'm right here. I'm not making this
Now
up.
I understand. I'm going to look it up still.
Yeah, please do, because I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, it definitely. I thought it was a very creative game, and I was like, I like this style of 2 airships fighting and how you have crews, and there's more people playing than just you and the other team. There's like NPCs running around and stuff. I was like, that's really cool. I like that. But I like that whole like, we're all on airships, matey. Let's go. I like that whole concept. So that was fun. Contrast. I hate to be like jumping on that bandwagon, but it was fantastic. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really, really liked in the indie section. There were a lot of games that was like, this game when it's done will be fantastic. But they're like, it's an early alpha build. I was like, all right, well, I can't really comment on it yet. But there was a lot of that, and I was really impressed. Was there any? I liked Arkham Origins. I thought the Arkham Origins detective system, I was finally thrilled they made that.
I was a big fan of that. I've actually done my impressions of it, but I'm currently being held up because the B-reel they gave me has a clip every minute that says, do not upload this B-reel. I'm like,
nice.
I'm just thinking, content matching abound. So I have to keep an eye out for that. But
For people
the
who
detective system was awesome. But yeah, feel free to explain how it works.
So for people who don't understand, in the past games, the detective system is very limited. And in this one, it's very much like they're saying, hey, look, we remember that Batman is at heart a detective. Like, he's Detective Comics. Like, that's, like, he's solves crimes. That's how he works. And so if you're a huge fan of the comics, like, you're going to love that. So what happens in the demo, at least, is you end up on a roof, and a police helicopter finds you, and it's like, you're Batman, stop, and it gets shot down, and it explodes on the ground, and you're like, I better go see what happens. So you land, because you're looking for survivors, you see the guy's dead, and you use your detective, like, gear to rewind the crime scene, so it, like, rejects the guy back into the cockpit and flies the helicopter up so you can see what happened. And then you go back up to the roof, and since you have that already in, like, your data system, you can see, all right, well, so how did this thing crash? Well, the tail rudder, it, like, knocked off, and that's how it went down. It's like, but hold on, something shot at it.
Exactly. How did that happen? Where did that come from? Yeah,
and so then you can look around the map and, like, detect it. And then, of course, it's like, oh, well, someone shot at it. Oh, my God, it was another police officer. And then you go up to where the police officer was, and you're like, wait, he wasn't trying to shoot the helicopter. He was trying to sniper me. Someone else shot the helicopter, but it ricocheted through this guy's body, and it's like, holy shit. And then you solve this crime, and I was like, That's a fantastic game element.
Yes.
I was blown away by that.
Yeah, that was the strongest part of that demo by a country
Yeah.
mile. It reminds me of the memory remix stuff from...
I was just going to suggest that, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite similar to that, and then throw a little bit of Phoenix Wright in there for good measure, and that's basically what the detective system now is in our Origins, and it's great. Like, the rest of it is pretty bog standard Arkham stuff. Obviously, you are in Gotham City now, which I think is a better setting. You can kind of fly around, and there's crimes that are happening, and you go and just solve them, and just like beat the crap out of people. And, there's a couple of extra gadgets and things, but, that was the biggest change to me. That's like, oh, this is... Before this, all the detective stuff has been super contrived in the sense of,
yes, exactly, yeah.
If only I could somehow detect his pheromone trail. But wait, I can. I know.
So this one actually required you to do some thinking and then like rewinding time to like the key point when the bullet went through so you could like detect the angle. And you went back and some guy in chat was like, so basically Deadshot. Yeah, basically Deadshot.
Yeah.
But it was really, I thought it was great. I like that. I also like the concept of the main villains in the Batman series aren't necessarily the main villains this time around. And I yes, there's like Joker and Bane and stuff are in it, but it's all the other guys, like all the assassins, all the like Lola, like Black Mask. Half the people are like, who the shit is that? I'm like, good. I like that you're including them.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
So that's fantastic. Also, they had Anarchy. I was like, what? What? I love it. I love all of it. Keep it up. I think that'll be fun. I think it's probably going to be better than the other two.
Did you play the new Scribble Notes while you were at the Warner Brothers booth?
Oh my god, the new what was it? DC?
Yeah,
Scribble
it's Unmasked.
Yeah, Scribble Notes Unmasked.
It was so because I was when you go to the Warner Brothers booth for people who aren't like TB, when you go to the Warner Brothers booth, you're put with like 12 other journalists, and so they literally were like. My group was me and 4 people from France and 1 dude from like Brazil. And so the guy was like, so you guys know how to play Scribblenauts? I was like, yeah, no, I do. And so everyone watched me play and I was typing in the most crazy thing. And some guy from France is like, so basically you could type in penis? And he was like, people do that. And they were like, oh.
That French accent, by the way. One of the best I've ever heard.
That was incredible. That blew my mind, Jesse. You sounded Armenian. Grats.
I don't know what you say. I'm from France.
I am from
They shoved you in there with 12 of the journalists. I'm really sorry. It's like I turn up there. It's like, hello, Mr. Bain. We've been expecting you. Which would you like to see first? No, they don't do that at all. Not at all.
We have your martini ready for you in the lounge.
It's mostly a case of you get they don't know who you are. They have no idea. They look you up and down. You give them the business card. They look through a list, and then they suddenly kind of realize, like, all right, okay, yes, you do have an appointment. You're not just bullshitting us. It's like I tend to find that the size of your camera is indicative of how seriously they take you. When in reality, what that actually means is you just have old, crappy camera equipment.
Right? I was
just gonna say that.
Most of the smaller cameras do a better job.
Yeah, well,
you
my XA10,
camera,
which looks like a home user camera, kicks the shit out of anything they've got, so it's whatever. And most of the time, like, I'm actually getting to the point where to shows I'm not even going to bring a camera anymore, because we use it so little. Basically, I either do now direct feed or B-reel, and it's like, why the fuck would I carry a camera at this point? It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
For PAX this year, I got a lot of indie developers to actually just send me their game, and then I recorded footage from that with my impressions next to it. And I don't think AAA would be into that for the most part.
Actually, I mean, you'd be surprised. I got a good few AAAs that either let me capture direct feed via HDMI or let me capture it with fraps if it was PC.
Nice.
And they're warming up to it. I was actually speaking to a number of the PR guys, and lately they're saying, yeah, we're warming up to the idea of, one, being way more inclusive to YouTubers, because it's obvious you guys have way more reach than anybody else does. There was one interview that I did at some point, I think ended up with 6 times the views of a competing one on a much supposedly larger thing. And they're like, yeah, we paid attention to that. We saw that. We can clearly see where the wind's blowing. And secondly, yeah, we want more direct feed capture because we're sick of every video looking the same. Because you've got to use the same 2 minutes of fucking B-reel. So they're going to change that, which is good. I'm just hoping they do that quickly. We'll see. We'll see if E3 adopts that. Probably not. But stuff like PAX and Gamescom most likely will get on the bandwagon a little bit quicker with that regard.
Awesome.
So, favorite games, Northern Lion. What did you see that you liked?
Let me be the lone dissenter to a certain extent. I saw Contrast as well. I think it looks really nice. I think the presentation's beautiful. And I really like the play with the shadows and stuff like that. But I was a little disappointed that a lot of the puzzles still boiled down to that typical like puzzle platformer trope where you're like grabbing crates and then moving them across to other switches.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's still a little ways away. But I thought like the way it plays the shadows and stuff is really cool. Yep. But the other stuff a little bit, tropey to a certain extent. But yeah, that's definitely, it would be on my list of the best stuff I played at PAX. I really liked Hotline Miami 2 at PAX. I'm not sure if you guys played that.
Yeah, I played the demo.
Yep.
It was really funny because there was an exploit in the demo, and I accidentally picked the wrong suit. Like there was one suit that was like, this is normal vanilla Hotline Miami. You're gonna have fun with this. But I scrolled down
the punching suit, right?
Yeah, I scrolled down. I was like, ooh, like a sloth or something. I'm gonna take that without actually reading it.
Yeah, you can't pick up weapons, can you?
Right, so I can't pick up weapons. I had to exclusively punch people, and I was just getting my ass kicked the whole time.
It's hard.
And then I accidentally punched a guy through the wall, and I was like, oh, like I can do that now. And they're like, you shouldn't use that. It's an exploit. And I'm like, it's the only way I can beat the game.
Tough shit.
Yeah, it's just like causing a distraction. Then guards would cluster, and I just punched them through the wall. And I think they thought like, oh, he's gonna like not like this game because of that exploit. I was like, that was awesome. You should keep that in. It was a lot of fun.
So silly.
Those guys, the guys who make Hotline Miami, those are fantastic dudes.
Yeah,
those are some nice guys.
But I've got to say, Ed, what you just said, Ryan, actually does parallel my experience because we actually had an issue with them. Like, there was a similar kind of thing. They do seem to be extremely protective of how their game appears. I'm just like, look, if you're protective about that stuff, don't turn up to shows at all. Like, don't bring your alpha build to a show. Someone's going to be able to break it. So it's going to go wrong at some point. You're in a hot room. Your machine's probably under the desk at 300 degrees Celsius at this point. And it's just, something's going to go wrong with it. So if you are that paranoid about the way your game's perceived, then just don't bring it to a show. Because that is the place where it'll go wrong.
Fair enough.
You might actually be a little bit right.
Too, though.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And it's
Whatever
fine. We accept
wrong
that.
Does.
We totally
not only
accept
that, but just like I feel like the number of times that I've interacted with devs, and the second that something goes wrong at all with the game, they like freak out a little bit. I'm like, don't worry, I get it. Like it's fine.
I fixed it for a few devs actually. It's just like, don't worry, I know how to fix this. We had fun with the WildStar booth trying to get our HDMI recorder in there, and the monitor flat out refused to do anything useful. It's like, you know what resolution would be good? 1920 by 480. And it's just like this. I'm like, what? So, I was just like, I wonder if it's the NVIDIA control panel. I just thought, it's like, I'm just messing around with everything. It's like, there we go, fixed. I was like, cool, sorted. Just let me do my job. But I've got to ask you about Hotline Miami, Ryan. Like, I played a decent amount of the original, but not that much because it had that fucking swaying thing, which made me feel sick.
Oh, God, the original is so fun.
The alpha of this one doesn't seem to have that, so I was actually fine with it. It's like, great, I can play Hotline Miami. But can you point out, like, what was different about it? Because I didn't pick up on anything, really.
Yeah, basically nothing that I perceived either, but I love the original enough that more of that is...
It's more.
Yeah, it's basically like, it's kind of an expansion, but... released in sequel form.
It wasn't it, originally? There was supposed to be an expansion. Yeah, but I'm totally cool with that because I like the original so much. And, it's a formula that you don't see all that often, so I don't necessarily think it needs to totally reinvent the wheel. And the way, like you said, they've been restrictive with the way that they're showing off their games so far. I wonder if there's, like, other surprises that they're kind of keeping hidden because it seems like they're being very protective about, like, the story and the narrative and the kind of beats that it's going to take. Well, I mean, talk about being protective. There was that controversy a couple of days ago. I'm not going to go into it because like every time we do this we talk about this stuff for an hour, but there is a certain element of that game, especially in the demo, that some people objected to.
Yes. Well, let's I mean, I think that element it's part of the setup of the game. Like it's a movie set, and it's not like the game is split in two. Half the game is a movie that is reenacting their own version of what happened in the first game, and the other half is four guys who were like
kids.
We're like, oh man, those dudes were so cool, we could be like them. And I think the game is making a mockery of the first game. Like it has two stories that are both telling two different sides of that first game, making fun of the events of it. And I was like, that's really creative. And I'm a big story guy, and I was like, that's good.
It's very self-aware of what it is. And more to the
definitely.
point, it's self-aware of how you will take things. And the fact that that component is in there, I think actually does send a fairly potent message in that it says, oh, we're okay with horribly slaughtering all of these people and we don't even bat an eyelid. We may be completely desensitized to that. And as soon as that comes in, it gives us pause. And it's like that's making a fairly important point, don't we think?
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to go too far into it because there's been so much of this on the internet that I'm quite frankly sick of it. Not to mention the fact that the discussion's well is so poisonous that it's not even worth taking a sip from, really. But yeah, I did. It definitely was like, in the demo. It's like, whoa, that came out of nowhere, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a little jarring, I guess.
Yeah,
not in a bad way necessarily.
I think it's deliberately jarring. Like,
yeah,
and I hope that they keep it in there and make it sure that it's deliberately jarring. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to feel that this is terrible. Good. Like, why aren't you thinking that the rest of the game is? Because it is.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's supposed to point out
it's
how
a commentary.
desensitized we are.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
fun
that
as
they
fuck, I
did
might
say
add,
that
though.
they were going to change a couple of things, but
Yeah,
they
they
also said that they feel that within that the judgments that have happened toward it are without context
because it's a part of
and
the demo
that
that's playing the
also
show
makes
floor.
it hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily needs context. At the end of the day, it's Hotline Miami. I expect things to
Yeah.
shock me in that game.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was definitely one of the best games I played. It's cool that it's generating so much discussion as well, despite, sequels sometimes just get glossed over as like, the original plus a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If
Exactly.
people want more of the same, I mean, COD's been doing it every fucking year for like 20 years, so hey.
Borderlands did it, and I still love Borderlands 2. So
Yeah, Borderlands 2 didn't fix a fucking thing that I wanted them to fix
it's
at all.
still the same exact game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
what else, Pax?
I had a ton of fun playing a bunch of local multiplayer games, which I normally don't get a chance to really play. So I know you guys had a ton of fun playing Towerfall Dodger, at least I saw tweeting about it and
You
talking
played
about
Tiny
it a whole
Brains?
bunch. I did not play Tiny Brains, no.
That was good.
Oh, there was
and-
a Tiny Brains tournament that went on too. I was like, a couple of my friends were gonna go into that, and then they didn't. Good story.
Good story. Good
That-
story.
well done. It's a magnum opus of our times. Please, by all means, Ryan, continue.
Continue. on.
I've been playing Towerfall for like
my
probably like
God.
5 or 6 months now.
High five. Yeah.
Matt Thorson is
Just make it fun.
like a local developer to me. He lives in Vancouver, so we've been talking back and forth for a little while. And even though I've been playing it for so long, I like always relish the opportunity to kind of get fresh meat. Basically, even though I'm still really bad, I got my ass kicked really badly at the
Oh my
booth.
gosh. He's so nice too.
Super nice guy, yeah.
He's just like the sweetest dude. And I don't know how much if you watched the tourney at all or anything like that.
Not at all,
but
no.
It was cool because they had semifinals and then the actual finals, and then out of nowhere he was like, all right, now to actually win you have to beat me and then you'll be the winner. And so that was really cool to like see him sit and play the game because he's like mega good, but the other dudes beat him, which was kind of awesome.
Really? Oh, it's
Yeah.
surprising to me.
Yeah, it was best of 5 and it came down to the very last possible game. It was
Nice.
crazy.
Very
I was
cool.
oh my gosh. So
I spent a lot of time playing Samurai Gun too. Like I lined up for that 3 or 4 times, which was right next to the Octodad Dadliest Catch booth, which I also thought was one of the most fun games that I played there.
that game was really fun, yeah.
Yeah, so just like a really fast-paced, kind of chunky melee plus projectile shooter arena-based combat game. Other adjectives also dashed in at the end there. It was a lot of fun. And, to kind of put one in that no one said so far, I had a lot of fun playing Bayonetta 2 as well.
Didn't get to play that. How was it?
It was good. It was a lot like
Right?
a lot of Platinum games that I've played before. And again, I'm totally okay with that.
Keep making games
Exactly.
like that because I love everything they make.
Yeah, it felt like a better Metal Gear Rising, in my opinion.
Cool.
Can I just
That's
say
enough
the
for me.
best, because everywhere you go in PAX, there are those giant billboard poster things hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
The single best one, Bayonetta. People were like, Jesse, where can we meet you? I was like, I'm under Bayonetta's ass. Because that's all the poster was just her ass cheeks. And I'm like, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, independently made some remarks about that as well. I think a lot of people did.
It was a
It
fantastic.
was a bit jarring because it was over the Nintendo booth with all the family-friendly stuff, and then it's just, here's Bayonetta from behind.
Like, oh,
I
okay.
swear, it was Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong like, hey, we're going, and then Pikmin on the other side, and then in the middle is just a giant ass. And I'm like, this is Nintendo how I want it to be. Perfect.
Even the guy at the Bayonetta booth was wearing like a Luigi hat and mustache, and I'm like, there's a huge like disconnect.
Yeah. Oh, all that ludonarrative dissonance. What will we do?
Ruined the experience for me. I just couldn't handle
Totally
it.
took me out of it. There's the immersion gone.
In fact, I'm
Just
scratching it. What I just said, just erase it in post. Bayonetta 2 is terrible. Worst experience of the show. The end.
Yep.
I don't mean that, by the way. That's basically it for me. I don't know. I spend a lot of time at PAX. I don't really like going to the booths that much anymore. I find it like really hot and stuffy and awkward oftentimes. So I just go to like the console free play areas and stuff and just hang out with people.
That's the sensible thing to do. I run around in a suit for 9 hours a day.
Can I make a complaint? I just want to put this out there. I just want to put this out there to all people going to conventions.
Yes.
Shower?
Learn to move. Just keep moving.
Oh, yeah. This is doubly true for cosplayers.
It infuriates me when I'm walking behind you and all of a sudden you just stop. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you stopping? What is happening? And then you just pull out your phone and just stare at it. Or you see someone like, hey, how's it going? In the middle of the walkway, and you're just like, oh my God. If it was legal to punch you in the face right now, I would do it. Because by day 4, you're just like, everyone, just walk off to the side.
Yeah.
Just move off to the side. There's no reason to stay there.
Can I add to that? Like, I get that it's cool to meet people that you watch on YouTube or whatever, but if you ask for a picture, please don't do so in a moving walkway. Like, especially in the indie booth where it's very narrow. Like, just take it off to the side, somewhere out of the way, because you are literally stopping traffic, which is a terrible idea.
I felt so bad. There were 2 dudes on an escalator coming this way as I was going this way, and they were like, oh my gosh, Doctor, we need a picture with, can we? I was like, I gotta go.
My planet needs me.
Really bad, but looking back on it was a funny situation.
And it was a thing that it reminds me of LA, where just like everyone is so self-obsessed what's going on in their world that they ignore everyone around them, and it's like, 5 minutes, just think of other people besides yourself, you son of a bitch. Because I swear to God, I'm going to choke you out right here on the floor. It's infuriating. Because here I am, people walking by, I'm actively trying to be like really cautious of what I'm doing, letting people go if I have to slow down or whatever. And I swear to God, when people don't do that, I'm like, why the shit am I doing it then? I just want the world to be happy. I just want everyone to be happy. I just want people to enjoy this thing. Why can't you enjoy it? And they're like, I'm going to take a picture of that butt up on there. It's like, no, don't. Just stop. Just be considerate. Just be considerate.
Especially taking pictures of things at PAX is stupid, because there's a million pictures of that thing online already. You with stuff, I get that. I do. But just, here, let's take a picture of this photo. It's like, this is over! It's all here. You're taking pictures of marketing material. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's my complaint about conventions, but especially PAX, because I guess a lot of people get overwhelmed by how big it is, because sometimes it's my first convention. I understand, but by day 3, if it's still going on, it's like, you should have seen this already. I swear to God, why can't you just move? I got stuff to be to, and you're just stuck in line waiting behind people. And when you have to. When you're a big dude and you have to slow down your walk because people are walking so effing slow, that's aggravating. I'm just saying.
Hey, at conventions I stride like a motherfucker and people just get out of the way. It's just pretty much just like I have a long stride and I don't like moving slowly. It annoys me. So, yeah, the conventions are a nightmare for me like that. All of them as well. Even E3, which shouldn't be because it's a massive fucking hall and there shouldn't be that many people there. But apparently 95% of the people there got in with an industry pass because they work at GameStop. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Screw you, GameStop.
Didn't seem to fucking help them in terms of how informed they are, but hey, it's E3, so let's get the swag. Oh, no.
There was a great PAX moment on the central escalators, and there was like a security guard at the bottom, and people were going up and down the escalators, so she's modulating traffic to make sure it moves freely. And then some guy on the escalator holds up his arm like to the side to high-five people coming down the other side, and this lady is freaking out. She's like, no high fives on the escalator.
Super fucking dangerous.
Exactly. She's like, it's dangerous. Someone could get hurt. But then people at the top can't hear her, so they start high-fiving all the way down.
Oh, no.
And then she's just getting angrier and angrier, and this starts like a riot of high fives where like both ends of the escalator are just high-fiving the entire way up and down.
Man.
And she's just like, don't do that. Like, seriously
Stop!
dangerous.
Hey!
As they're like
Stop
escalating
it!
slowly, like deal with it, sunglasses dropping down on their head. Stop me, lady.
I feel pretty sorry for those guys. Like, they did a really good job. Like, the only problem I had, which I've mentioned before, was the days 2, 3, and 4 of not being able to get in for my 10 o'clock appointment because no, you can't get in yet until the queue room's gone through. It's like, I'm fucking media. Yes. I have an appointment right now, and by day 4 we managed to convince this one guy that was turning up every day that just make an exception for us. We're trying to do our job. So we were just reasonable with him, and he's like, come this way, I'll take you through. But the day 2 we actually missed the game as a result of that, which was
that sucks.
That
happened to me at PAX East, and I was furious about it. I might have even said it here on the podcast. Like, it drove me crazy. I was like, I have to be in at 10. And the guy's like, no, sir, you have to wait. And his excuse was that some people were sneaking in, and so they were just trying to. I was like, it doesn't even matter. I have a meeting.
I have a media pass and an appointment. Let me through. Yeah. If you go to Gamescom, by the way, you'll love it because there are loads of exceptions for media. So you will get through all of that shit, no problem whatsoever. We used to go through side doors, actually, because the Colon Mesa is so big. There are side doors that are just guarded by one person, and they just let media through. So you just avoid everything. If you learn how that place works, it's amazing. But PAX is a pain in the ass for media, and it always has been, so that's a problem.
I really think they should add just the media hour from the first day onto all the days.
Yeah.
So you can just show up early.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that would let us skip some of the stuff like Titanfall, which wasn't doing media appointments, because I actually spoke to the community manager at Respawn to ask why that was. And it's we basically got confirmed in at the last possible minute, so we had no time to facilitate any of that. So I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable excuse, but I wanted to get in for Titanfall, and I couldn't. And Battlefield 4 was a similar problem. Most of the Xbox One stuff was a similar problem, so I think as a show, it could definitely do a lot better in terms of facilitating those with media access, because we have a job to do. If someone else gets in slightly late, that's not a big deal. If we get in late, we miss an appointment, and that hurts both us and the developer that we were going to give coverage to, which sucks,
Plus, I noticed this a lot more. A lot of developers in past PAX and E3 events, if you miss something, it was like, all right, you missed it. We've had so many people come by, whatever. But now I think you're right that they're taking YouTube as a community a bit more seriously, because when you miss something. Yeah, when you miss something or you're late, they're immediately on the phone buzzing you where you at? What's happening? What's going on right now? Yeah, and it makes you look bad too if you're not there. So yeah.
I mean, you can definitely be late for appointments at places like that, because you can't really the foot traffic can really screw you over. There are times when you can get to the other hall in 2 minutes, and there are times where it takes you 20 because there's a fucking cosplayer somewhere that's blocking up all the traffic or whatever, so you can't get through. But we actually had, especially around the indie booth, obviously, because most people know about our channels. So they were coming up to us and saying, hey, do you want to cover us? I'm like, I'm sorry, I have a full schedule. I booked all my stuff 2 weeks in advance. So I cannot. But send me a build, and I'll see what I can do when I've done these 40 other videos. But for me, it was a really good show. I'm really happy with how people are receiving the coverage as well. We changed our format around, and we have twice the viewers this time around. Way more people are watching it. Last time they couldn't give a shit. Now it's yeah, we'll totally watch it. And it's kind of sad, but it's because people just don't want to hear from devs. They just don't.
Yeah.
They view them as just
God, I think the dev interviews are so interesting too.
Yeah, I
don't
love
know why more people
devs.
don't like watching them.
But people don't like them. The reason why, and this is what we got from our feedback, was they feel like the dev is there solely to market the game, which is true, don't get me wrong, but people have this inherent fear of being marketed to, like it's some kind of communicable disease that they'll catch and they're not aware of catching, but then they suddenly become a carrier for it and they spread it to others. And it's no, it's actually okay for someone to be excited about the thing they're making. That's fine. That's a cool thing, guys.
I hate that, depending on how you phrase the question, people will either say, no, I don't want to hear from somebody who's going to market the game to me. Or they'll say, well, I really wish that we had more information about this game and how it was built and how it was made. I'm like, yeah, then you're going to hear from this guy.
Yeah. But you don't want me to talk to him because you're afraid of being marketed to. Like, you are marketed to every day of your lives. Deal with it. It's not... There are there's people dying in these countries right here. There's chemical weapons are being fired at civilians. There's a world economic crisis. And you're worried about maybe someone wants to sell you a video game. Can we just a little perspective?
Yeah.
You know, that they spend like 2 or 3 years of their life working on.
Yeah, you know.
Right?
Maybe their whole savings.
How fucking dare he be excited about this thing that he poured his fucking lifeblood into?
Especially
Fuck
the
that
indie
guy.
developers. The indie developers who are seriously, and I know all, like, the three of you who were there, they're legitimately the most thankful out of anybody. Like, and
yeah,
if you met them
totally.
at a previous PAX, they're like, oh my god, it's you, let's talk. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, those are the people you should want to hear from, because like NorthernLion said, they have literally put years of their life into it and know way more than I'd ever know about the game. So, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
People are going to complain anyway.
Yeah.
The
Pretty much.
internet.
True.
That was our PAX in a nutshell. Any kind of final thoughts before we go to break and we talk about other things?
PAX is still the best con there is, by far, hands down, the best.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yep.
Even with the complaining, I love it. Fantastic.
Yep. And we didn't even touch on the other stuff, you know, which we're not doing it. No.
Which we're not going to, TV.
No, we're not. I'm fucking sick of that topic. Fuck that topic.
And break. Break time.
Yes.
And
It's time for a break? Oh, wow. We are right
An
on the
hour.
money today. This is a
An hour.
fantastic podcast.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was all his doing. We'll be right back. You're watching the Co-optional podcast. When we come back, we will talk about PS Vita TV and various other things. So do not go anywhere. Welcome back to the Co-optional podcast.
Hello.
I have to make an apology here at the top really quick.
As you wish.
Dane Cody, at Dane Cody of Geekaholics, sent me a message that was literally, hey, dummy, I was in your group at Warner Brothers, and I'm not French. But he's Canadian, which means he speaks French, possibly, so I'm not wrong.
Which
Possibly.
maybe could speak French, possibly. So,
But I want to apologize
Incredible.
because I did
Incredible.
forget. I did leave him out. I did
what a
leave him out.
heartfelt
Well done.
apology.
We were bros, and I forgot. It's been a week. I'm old. Give me a break.
I really thought it would be an apology to like the whole French-speaking population,
No.
but no. Okay, just this one guy.
No.
Screw the rest
Nope.
of them.
Quebecois?
Quebec who?
That's from
Quebecois?
the next break. I need to make another apology.
To everyone who speaks French.
I'll never do it. All right, that's it. We can continue on.
Good to know. Excellent. All right, let's move on to some news. Funnily enough, if we want to talk about the games we've been playing this week, we'll probably just do that towards the end right now. We did too much PAX at the start, so hey, whatever. PS Vita TV has been announced. The press conference over in Japan announced this, as well as a refresh of the PlayStation Vita hardware. The launch date of the PlayStation 4 in Japan, which is in February. And the PS
Don't
Vita
understand why they're getting it so much later than us. That makes
apparently-
no sense to me.
I mean,
Are we the beta testers? Is that what this is?
yeah, that's actually how I spoke to a couple of people from Japan on the subject, and the general mood is like, we're totally fine waiting. Like, it's really cool because if there's any problems, you fuckers are going to be the ones that have to deal with it. Also, they're giving away a free copy of Knack with every PS4 there, so
True.
Ow.
they don't give a fuck. They're like, free AAA? Yup, let's do that. So, yeah, that's a thing. But the biggest announcement, of course, from that was, in fact, the one and only PlayStation Vita TV.
Right.
So, what is PS Vita TV? Well, it is a device that is essentially a PlayStation Vita in a smaller box without a screen and a controller that you plug into your television. It will play physical and digital PlayStation Vita games, which obviously also includes PSP and PS1 via the download service. Full access to the PlayStation Store, which includes the movies, and it also acts as a remote device to kind of beam your PlayStation 4 to another TV in the house. So if someone else is using that TV, you can beam your gameplay via remote play directly to to another television that has a PS Vita TV plugged into it, and then you can play it there. So
and you use the DualShock 3 with it.
Yes. It's designed for DualShock 3, not the 4. I assume 4 support will be there, but you use the 3 because it's coming out before the PlayStation 4 in Japan anyway. This thing is currently aimed at next month in Japan. Worldwide release is not known as of yet.
I hope we all get it.
The catalog, I think, is fantastic. It's 1,300 games. I think it's a fantastic catalog for a little tiny box, and it's wonderful.
They said that... Sorry, keep going.
No, I was saying the only concern I have is I'm still on the fence about the streaming thing, because every time I talk to companies, especially at PAX, every time I talk to a company, they're like, oh yeah, well no, you can stream games from your PC, or you can stream games from this system or whatever. I'm always like, okay, so what's the lag? And they're like, well, okay, so we're a few years off from getting it lag-free. And it's like, that's them trying to sell me on it. So really, I don't know what the situation is. And I always worry when they're like, oh no, you can stream it. I'm like, but is it going to be any good to stream? I guess I'm always on the fence about that kind of stuff. We'll see.
I wonder what the tech is, because obviously for remote play from a PlayStation 4 to a Vita, for instance, with that downscaling, it doesn't really matter that much, right? Because you want a smaller screen, lower resolution. If there is any artifacting, you're probably not going to see it. Yeah, it's not going to really be a big deal. This is kind of the other way around. You're talking about beaming PlayStation 4 gameplay to this box and then inputting it via HDMI to the TV. How the hell does that work? I don't fully understand. I assume it's encoding it. It must be encoding it into a video and then tossing it up in that direction. Mm-hmm. And in that case, that's going to be artifacted, right? There's going to be encoding artifacts. There may be frame rate issues. How does that work?
For sure.
Yeah.
I would not expect that it would be flawless.
No, because wireless HDMI exists, right? That's a real thing. You can buy a wireless HDMI kit. But this, I assume, is not that.
They'll probably...
What is it?
Maybe they'll take it... Because I assume PS4 is 1080, so maybe take it down to 720 and plop it up on your TV?
That would suck. Why would I buy a next-gen machine to play a 720p game?
I don't know. I can't figure out how it works. And that's one of the things, NVIDIA, for example, when I was, asking, so the Shield can transmit stuff to a TV. How does that work? I'm like, well, it's a little bit off. There was, an HD wireless... booth, and I was like, how does that work? He was like, it'll take a little time. And I just wonder, because that's less than 6 months away, what the technology would be like with all that hooked up. Mm-hmm. I don't know how
not to bring it back to PAX, but there was that Saints Row 4 wireless TV booth at PAX.
Wireless HD, yeah,
and every time I looked at it, it seemed like it would run well for a while, and then there would be some seriously killer frame rate issues. And this was fairly close together. So I don't know. That's the only concern I really have on the technology aspect. But hopefully people much smarter than myself are working on that.
Exactly. Because they say oh no, we have the solution. It's just going to take time to get it all out and fixed. And it's okay, but then why is this something you're releasing right? Why are you pushing it now when there's still problems? Because it's just cloud, what is cloud gaming? When that was a big thing, the service didn't run efficiently, and so people didn't give it a chance. They were like, well, screw it. When it had the potential to, now you can run tons of shit off a cloud. But at the beginning, when it first started, it was people were like, oh, it doesn't work. And so then they never gave it a second chance. And so I'm afraid, you launch this now, people are going to be like, fuck it, I'm done. I got no tolerance for this.
And my understanding of this thing is that the output's 1080i. And... I don't necessarily understand exactly what they mean by that. Does that mean that if I download a movie onto my PlayStation Vita TV via the PS Store, that the output's going to be 1080i? Because that's not great. I mean, I would prefer it to be better than that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Obviously, I know you can wire all this stuff up. That's obvious. It's got ports. We know that. But we are talking about one of its primary features is the ability to beam PS4 gameplay to another television. Yeah, it acts as a receiver. Is there any quality degradation? Is there any lag time? How the balls does it work? What does it use? Wi-Fi Direct? Does it use something else? I don't know. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Plus it's $100. It's $100 unit. So you have to maybe the justification is, look, it's $100. So don't expect the world from this thing. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but in that situation, then I turn back to the idea of, well, as a PlayStation Vita owner, I would have liked TV out on my goddamn Vita, and I know you can do it because I've played the dev kits that have it. Not only that, but Giant Bomb managed to buy a modified version of it that kicks it out via the whatever the port is in the bottom or something like that, or via a micro USB or something like that. I don't know, but I just have some concerns from that front. Like, aside from that, the concept of the thing is fucking awesome. It's a $100 Vita that doesn't have a screen and a controller, which is phenomenal for Vita owners. Even if you don't own it as a guy that owns a normal Vita, suddenly you got a massive, great installed user base that you didn't have before. So people have a reason to develop for the fucking thing, which is good. That's very good.
Plus, if you have PlayStation Plus, there's a lot of games on there that you can get for free that you just can't play because you don't own a Vita.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
that's a great addition. For $100, you now have access to an entire other catalog. That's
and for PlayStation Plus, that's like half the Vita games that exist because there's like 6 of them. So it's phenomenal. It's good ones as well. Like, you can play Gravity Rush, you can play the Uncharted game on there. Obviously, they've never put Persona 4 in there in a million years because they like money. But some of the other like really good ones are still available via PlayStation Plus for free. So.
It definitely offers like a better value proposition than the Ouya at like exactly the same price point.
Like, this fucking stomps all over the Ouya's face. I'm sorry. Like, if you buy an Ouya over a PS Vita TV, you're out of your fucking mind. Really,
assuming it works.
Unless you want to play Towerfall, but which is coming to other platforms eventually. So yeah, once it comes to PC, there's definitely no reason. But yeah, I mean, I have to assume that it encodes probably to H.264, and then it tosses it over Wi-Fi Direct or whatever. In which case, if it's doing that at only 30 frames per second, then I don't want to use that. Because this, to me, would be very convenient, right? I've got a big TV downstairs. I've got a slightly smaller TV in my bedroom that's not quite as good, but, it's got the bed in there, which is a big plus. That's a good feature, I tend to find.
Yeah.
So I would like to have my PS Vita TV plugged into that so I could kick my PlayStation 4 stuff upstairs that way. And from what I can tell, this seems like a bad idea. Because if I do that, I'm going to get a lesser experience. Don't think I'm necessarily okay with that. But at the end of the day, you could just ignore that feature entirely and just say, hey, it's a $99 Vita.
Yeah, I mean, if you already are interested in having it without that feature, then it's like, well, that's a feature that might work okay, might work terribly. I can try it out, and if it doesn't work out, then okay.
Yeah, pretty much. If that's the one feature that doesn't work, it's still worth it because you're paying half price for a Vita that you can't move. Well, you can move, but it's not going to do anything if you do it. So that's all right. That's a good idea. That wouldn't surprise me.
I've been playing the Vita a lot lately, so yeah.
What games have you been playing on the Vita lately?
You're not going to like this, but I've been playing a whole lot of Spelunky.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, Spelunky.
Yeah, so fun.
But I can understand from a portable standpoint, like that is probably one of the best portable games you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best games you can get, period, in my opinion, but we don't need to go into that.
Fight.
Fucking Spelunky.
Wow.
A deep, deep loathing hatred for that stupid game.
Oh, we don't even have to get into this. I could get kicked off the podcast if we keep this topic going for like another 10 minutes.
No, you're never ever going to be as bad as the other guy, so don't worry. We'll be fine.
The other guy, quote, end quote. Can I break the tension by showing off my kitten because people keep asking for it?
You can, but then we're getting back to Spelunky.
Okay.
Oh, no. What have I done?
Here's Watson, kitty. She's precious.
Really
Hello.
A female Watson? What?
Huh? She's very cute. We found her in the bushes, and now she's mine.
Great.
Huh.
Good. This was fun. Animals are horrible. Moving on.
Bushes kitty? Huh?
That is a cute
Precious.
cat.
I know. I love her. Okay, get out of here. Okay. So there you go, Internet. You got to see Watson Kitty. She was chilling on my lap, and now she's gone. And I can participate more instead of worrying that she's going to be chewing on the headphone cords.
So there's now a box quote out for Paranautical Activity, which says Paranautical Activity is better than Spelunky. TotalBiscuit 2013. I'm just like, you quoted me completely out of context, and I'm strangely okay with it. Because it is going to cause some wonderful reactions from people. It's going to be great. Looking
It's a really good quote, too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think the other one was I fucking hate platformers 2013. Yep, pretty much.
That's awesome.
No, I don't like that game, and I'm never gonna like that game, and yeah.
That's okay.
I don't like Binding of Isaac either, really, so...
Alright, so I should just leave, I guess.
Also,
it's okay, you can bond with Dodger, it's fine.
Not a fan of lions either, and the north is actually rather cold. I don't know why anyone would live there.
I was born in the grim darkness of the far north. It's in my blood.
I've experienced it. It's unpleasant.
You merely adopted the north. I was born in it, molded by it.
What's our next news story? What do we got?
Well, there's, of course, the Vita refresh that we could talk a little bit about.
More Vita. Let's go.
The kids, they love that Vita.
Yep.
Lighter, thinner, faster, better.
It's the same fucking thing they did with the DS, right? It's like, it's lighter, it's brighter. There are different colors available of it. And they swapped the screen out. So, I am just...
CD screen now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... I can't even tell if that's a good or bad thing. A lot of people have said to me that the switch out was for battery reasons. I also think it's probably for cost reasons as well. Like, my OLED is more expensive than LCD. Like, that's a fact, right? That's why my TV isn't made of OLEDs, right? That's why OLED TVs are like $8,000, right? Yeah.
But LCDs also use less power, right?
That's what I'm told. I think. But then I also had someone tell me no, because OLEDs don't use power unless that pixel is lit, whereas an LCD is fully backlit. So, like, I do not understand this technology enough to be able to make a comment on that.
What is,
Yes, what is cloud gaming? Yeah. I don't even fucking know. But... I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. I'm not really interested in the refresh that much. It is nice for new consumers because it's $200 and it's got 1 gig of onboard memory, which is great for saving games. So you don't have to buy a memory card if you just want to save games. If you want to download fucking anything, then you're going to need a memory card. So just accept it, have your little proprietary stick, and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks fine. I don't see a problem with it. I'm interested to see whether or not the visual quality is actually worse. Because there was that weird thing with the PSPs as well, wasn't there? Like, there's people arguing over which PSP has the best visual quality. And some people I went with the 2000. Some people argued the 3000 was better. Then some people said, no, I prefer the 2000 because the 3000 has this weird thing going on with it. Like, some kind of ghosting stuff. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't know which one to get. They all look the same.
Doesn't the new, kind of going back to the Vita TV stuff, doesn't the new Vita, isn't it also able to stream to the TV?
The Vita TV or the new Vita?
The new Vita. Can't you stream to the TV from the new Vita?
I thought you needed the Vita TV to do that. Do find that out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate.
Because I'm almost certain you still need that. If you can do the... I mean, that's the one thing we didn't mention about the PS Vita TV is just like, I'm pretty sure... But why would you? That's... Because you already have... the PS Vita TV is a Vita.
Yeah.
Yo, dog, I heard you like Vita, so I bought a Vita to let me stream the Vita to the Vita.
To plug into your Vita.
Yeah.
So you can play your Vita on your Vita.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really confused because the remote play thing is now two-way in some respect, and now my brain is full of fuck. So, I don't know.
What
seems unlikely.
It does seem like it would be the Department of Redundancy department, right? You know, buying another Vita to allow you to stream your Vita to the Vita. It's kind of like, what? That is, I don't think so.
But if it lets you play 4-player Spelunky, I'm definitely in.
God. I'm surprised you can even find 3 other people that like Spelunky.
Wow. Okay. What? Now it's getting a little risky here.
Yeah. So many people like Spelunky, you silly.
Moving on.
Yes.
It's 20% lighter, 15% thinner. It comes with 1 gig of onboard storage.
Yes, all of those things are true.
We said that stuff, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And?
I'm not seeing anything else.
Yep, so I'm pretty sure I was right. Okay, good to know. Yep, so that's the Sony conference in a nutshell, I guess. So we can move on we could talk about this. This came out today and is kind of depressing. So, it seems like Square Enix has been bouncing back and forth between these two things lately on the idea of, was this good? Or was it not good? And now they're pretty much confirmed in their annual report that Tomb Raider, Sleeping Dogs, and Hitman Absolution have been, quote, commercial failures.
Can I just
This is
say,
despite the fact that Tomb Raider sold over 4 million copies.
I was about to say, they have such high expectations. It's silly.
they are literally the Debbie Downers of the game industry. I can't handle them anymore because these 3 games, frankly, are the 3 best things they've published lately.
Yes.
And it's like, how can you say they are failures? Your rest of stuff, that's failures. That was the
Final
good
Fantasy
stuff.
XIV, that's failures.
Yeah, like you guys are in crazy town. Cause you're bonkers. That makes no sense. I was like, those 3 games alone should have been, I mean, their projections are insane. I don't know how much money they spent on them, but you gotta figure they had to have made money, right? And they're like, no, it was a failure. What?
I don't. Didn't Sleeping Dogs at least break even? Or did all that money go to Lucy Liu?
Hey-oh!
Yeah.
Lucy Liu gotta eat. And
Was Lucy Liu even in that?
I thought she was.
Oh God! Please let that be unintentional racism. I want the internet
Lucy
to be
Liu
like,
is in every
"What?"
Yakuza thing ever. Or Triad, which, both of them. It's all of those. I am almost convinced that Lucy Liu was in Sleeping Dogs. Yes, she was. She was
Okay.
Vivian
We're safe.
Liu.
Fair
in
enough.
Sleeping
My
Dogs.
apologies.
Yep. Who was in a
Well, I mean-
relationship with Ricky Wong.
Like, I can't figure out what. I mean, I just don't know what's going through their minds. And I know they have all their money in Lightning Returns. Like, they're really heavily promoting that.
Why? Why do they have all that money in that?
Having played that at PAX, I got the controller. I was like, all right, here we go. I watched people in front of me be so confused by how to play it. I blew through that thing in 6 minutes. 6 minutes from start to finish of the demo. Not a challenge, not even this close to death. Just blew through it. Because unlike where it's pressing A the entire time, now it's press all the buttons, but they all do just different attacks. Then you can switch between attacks, so you never are not attacking in the game. You can always keep
is it just a
attacking.
brawler, basically?
What?
No, it does the same fight scene, like Jogo, like the whole Final Fantasy thing. Except you are playing as Lightning can become different classes. She can become a mage or a tank.
But it's in real time.
Does her outfit change?
Her outfit does change.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so
We're right back to
each one
Final
has
Fantasy
different
X-2
abilities.
again.
I was just about
Right.
to say 10-2.
And there's a block mechanic, so you can block when a guy swings at you, so you block it and deflects it, or you take less damage. Okay, that's cute. But the minute you're done, the minute you block it, you just unload attacks, and then you can do chains where the monster will be like, "Oh, you stunned me," and then you can do super attacks, and it's very visual and very beautiful. It looks great, but literally you're just spamming buttons, and then the battle's over, and then you keep running. Then another guy shows up, and much like I'm trying to think of what the other game it would be like. If you see an enemy in the actual world, if you sneak up behind him and hit him, you get minus 25% of their life when the battle starts. Or if you hit them from the front, it's minus 10% of their life when the battle starts. And so even then, you're already ahead of the game, and it's oh no, it was really easy, and I was like, oh, this story better be great, because if the game plays this easy, the story better be fantastic. Because I was like,
Just remember that everything at a convention is always set to easy mode, because they want people to play through it as quickly as possible. So any kind of difficulty level judgments, unless you are specifically talking to a dev that says we have this on difficult mode, just ignore it completely.
I mean, I was like, oh, this is where they're putting the money. This is it. This is their big thing.
Right here.
And I'm like, oh no, no. Meanwhile, Tomb Raider was fantastic. What is the matter with these people?
4 million right. If you say your 4 million copy game is a commercial failure, and it missed its targets, then your targets were bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You are out of your mind if you thought it was going to sell more than that. You are out of your mind. 4 million is a fucking triumph. Are you kidding me? You're not Assassin's Creed, and you are not Call of Duty, and those are the only 2 games that are selling that many. So don't.
Didn't the end of the article actually say that Square considers them to be technological failures.
Yeah,
as well.
they don't consider them to be bad games, which is like the one redeeming point of what Square Enix is saying right now. It's like, yeah, we'll totally defend them in terms of their games. Good, because they're all good games to greater or lesser extents. I have some issues with the way Hitman was, but aside from that, good games.
It was still fun. Yeah, I'm like.
But your targets were stupid.
Those 3 games are the games you had the least to do with, and I thought they were great. And it's like, guys, oh no, don't put your eggs in the Final Fantasy basket again. You're just going to break my heart. Just stop. Just stop. Squaresoft!
I don't know if those were like huge money sinks with respect to like engine development or something like that, but I mean,
all
they
used the
confirmed
real
sequels.
3, right? If I recall correctly.
Right, yeah, but I know Tomb Raider had some kind of like asset development.
The hair engine or whatever that was.
Yeah, oh Jesus, don't.
Yeah. Hey, if you SLI that on your computer and you turn that engine on, the hair of that game is like fucking fantastic. That's the best hair in any game
Tanks
ever
your
made.
frame rate like a motherfucker in NVIDIA cards, though. It's it's harsh.
But it was like each strand of hair was like.
Tress FX was the name of that, by the way.
Right, yeah. I'm just hoping they can like develop some sequels. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that likes to see like a new iteration of each franchise coming out every year, but if they lost a ton of money on initial investment, those games are good enough that I'm hoping they could like at least greenlight some sequels and recoup it a little bit.
I want to know how much they lost on this.
Right.
Like, I really do.
Because it does feel like creative accounting, like that kind of Hollywood accounting where they're like, we lost money, but we just did it so we didn't have to pay people royalties as much.
Yeah, oh my God, that's I think that's the plot of The Producers. Fantastic.
I want to be a producer. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Incidentally, we're talking about when Tomb Raider sold more than 4 million within 6 months of its release, so it's actually has sold more since then.
Shut up. How is that a failure? I want to know how much money they spent on that game, because they had to have
Right? Me too.
This is the problem. Like, we don't know. We already know, I believe, there's going to be a sequel to Tomb Raider. That's pretty much confirmed. As to whether or not there'll be a new Sleeping Dogs or Hitman, we have no fucking idea. Sleeping Dogs sold the weakest of the 3, but I have to wonder how much they actually spent on it. Sleeping Dogs was also the best of the 3, in my opinion. Sleeping Dogs was fucking great.
Sleeping Dogs.
Great game.
I think someone in chat is besides like the combat being like you need to be real focused. You can't just dick around in the combat or else you will die. I agree. I think it's a fantastic. I mean, I thought it was a great game. I thought all 3 of those were great games, and they all had little flaws here and there, but they were still much better than anything else Square has released in a long time. And they didn't even make it. So I was like, I thought they're publishing. That's how they were going to make all their money. I thought for sure they're publishing things now and representing other developers. That's how they're going to do it. And they're like, no.
I don't want them, and this is annoying for me to say because Square Enix has actually been the guys who have cooperated with us like the most. They really respect YouTube as a form of media, and we get access to all this stuff. But I'm going to say it anyway because maybe I'm just commercially suicidal, but if they're going to act this way, I don't think I want them publishing these games because I am afraid that they will take too few risks with them. I'm afraid that because they saw these games as commercial failures, they'll say, we need to broaden the audience. We need to make it more accessible. Those horrible words. It's like, these games are totally accessible as they were. There was nothing complicated about any of them. And in fact, you made... obviously Square Enix didn't make this, it was IOSoft, but Hitman was way simpler than any of the other Hitman games. Way simpler, way more forgiving. So don't. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you touching those franchises in this respect. Set more realistic targets, a more realistic budget, have the guys work within that budget, don't spend $300 million on marketing, and... That I just made that up. Don't spend so much money for marketing and then release the sequels to these damn games because they're all beloved franchises, And I think Sleeping Dogs will probably sell more the next time around. It's got a lot of positive buzz behind it.
That the whole idea of like making things more like so everyone can play it more accessible. I'm convinced.
How to Kill a Franchise 101.
Yeah, and the craziest part is you go back, I think 20 years at this point, but you go back to Squaresoft of the 90s and how they became as successful as they did. You look at their 3 games. The 3 games that brought them to the forefront of the RPG genre was in 93 was Secret of Mana, 94 It might be 95, but 94 was Final Fantasy VI, 95 was Chrono Trigger. Those 3 games are 3 RPGs that are so different, and they took so many risks and chances that because in a 3-year period, they released 3 of the, like, when people say, what are your favorite games? Those 3 are always on a list, always. And because they took so many chances and risked everything on those crazy games, like, no wonder they blew up and became so popular. People give them chances now because of shit they did 20 years ago. Take that, run with it, create something new and wonderful. Stop squandering our goodwill towards you because we loved you when we were kids. Stop it, you're killing me. Done. I'm done with you, Square. I'm done talking about them.
I'm really hoping, again, to get back to the topic of sequels and away from that rage that is justifiable, and I'm totally with you. I think that like Sleeping Dogs and Hitman Absolution are on PS Plus all the time. I hope they're getting like a huge install base of people who are paying very little or not anything at all. That would be really interested in picking up, a next iteration of those franchises. I think it would be a shame to see them die because, especially Sleeping Dogs. But the framework is there for what I feel is like a really interesting series that kind of fits into a niche that is not really occupied by Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More melee focused, a little bit more realistic, but more just down to authenticity. Like setting it in a country that is not America is actually in itself a huge fucking deal because there's even being able to drive on the left side of the road, for God's sake, is different enough. So I still think Sleeping Dogs is great. It was also an exceptional example of a well done PC port. Outside of the menu control, everything about that game blew me away on PC. Just so very good. But I think what really concerns me is when you look at the budget for something like, say, GTA, which a lot of people have sent me tweets about. It's like, hey, GTA 5 cost $280 million. Yeah, stop pretending to be GTA 5. You're not. Like, they made more money. They know, like, for their amount of pre-orders, they've already made that money back. That was the news that came out a couple of days ago, which is insane, I might add. Especially considering not a single real sequence of gameplay has actually been shown for that game at all. People are entirely relying on the brand. I will kind of laugh a bit if it ends up to be a stinker. I really will.
Yeah.
It probably won't.
Oh, me too.
It probably won't, but if it does, I can turn right back around and say, stop pre-ordering fucking video games. And you'll get this idea in your head, but companies right now just need to be more realistic, especially since we're entering the wild unknown of a new generation. We don't know how many copies of these games are going to get sold. We don't have a fucking clue. And for a while, the installed user bases are not going to be large enough to make sure that you're going to be able to sell 4 million copies of anything, because there won't be 4 million PS4s in the world. Yeah, they won't exist. So you have to think, live within your means, for God's sake. Don't spend $1 bazillion on marketing. Get a bit more creative about how you actually market your games. Hi. I don't know. We exist. We're on YouTube. Just getting us... You know what's sad? What's really sad is that creative marketing from the standpoint of some of these larger companies is giving review code to someone on YouTube. That's their definition of creative marketing. That's the biggest risk they'll take. And even most of them won't even do that.
And they pat themselves on the back for it, too. They're like, we're really forward-thinking about this. Like, we gave a code to TotalBiscuit.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you know what? I got alpha access to this game 6 months ago. It's like, and you gave me a launch day review copy. Thanks. I just buy it and it's a tax write-off. I don't give a shit.
The thing that I don't get is when they're like, here, we're going to give you a code, but no, you can't talk about this game or put up any video footage ever.
Jesus.
And I'm like, then
this
what's
is what
the
we
point?
do.
What is the point?
This is what we do.
I mean, thank you. It's great that I get to play this, but you realize you're not helping yourself at all by giving this to me.
Okay, I found legit information. You guys ready for this? Because it's mind-blowing.
All right.
All right. This is about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, at the time this was written, had sold 3.4 million copies. All right? In just 4 weeks. This is 4 weeks after the fact. 4 weeks after, the sales were considered a failure. And when asked what the actual, what they projected was, they said for a game where at this present time the budget is approaching $100 million, so I guess with advertising and stuff it's starting to get up there, they said that it needs to have a 5 to 10 million in sales and an 8.5 or above in a rating. And so at the time it had 3 million in sales.
5 to 10 million?
It had 3 million sales, 3.4, and it had a Metacritic rating of 8.0. And they said it had to have an 8.5 or above and 5 to 10 million. And that's a success. So basically, they set themselves up for failure right off the bat. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
For one
Insane.
thing, the fact that it sold 4 million copies plus indicates that Metacritic doesn't fucking matter at all. Like, oh no, an 8.0 on Metacritic, shut down the studio. No, it sold 4 million copies. This didn't make a fucking difference to anybody. I don't know of a single person that goes on Metacritic, orders by score, and says, oh, if it's under 9.2, that's a no sale for me. Those people don't exist outside of a
anyone that looks on
boardroom.
Metacritic. Yeah.
They do not exist. These are imaginary people.
So yeah, it needs to have an 8.5 or above on Metacritic, which is insane. 5 to 10 million copies to make up the $100 million they spent on the game, which isn't even like compared to a lot of like.
No, 100 million is a lot. I mean, yeah, compared to GTA 5, it's not. But GTA 5 is also one of the most expensive games of all time, alongside the Old Republic. 100 million fucking dollars on a third-person platformer thingy is too much money.
Yep. And
I'm sorry, it is. If you're spending this much, you gotta look at where that money's going and figure out how the fuck you can spend less.
Yeah.
Because this is just silly.
I can't even imagine. Like, it reminds me of when 38 Studios, when they shut down.
Yeah.
And I went to there because I was really interested in some microphones they had, right? I was like, oh, I want to get those so bad. Note, they went for way more than I was willing to pay. But the idea is, like, when I went to their auction site, when they were selling off all this, like, liquidating everything, when you went there, you saw what they had in the office, and it was literally, like, 12 pool tables, and, like, you know, dart boards, and, like, you know, gaming consoles for fun play. It's like gaming consoles for development. It's like, wait, hold the friggin' phone. Like, I get they're trying to form a community there, but this is a lot of, like, excess cost for shit that was not needed. They had, like, giant statue, like, bronze statues. It's like, well, there goes. There's where your money went. And I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to cut down costs, guys, and I feel like you're just not doing it. You're like, oh, no, we have to show off and brag about our amazing... No, you really don't. Make the game the bragging. That would help.
Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned that, because I went to Bungie while I was in Seattle and toured that place, and that place is pretty impressive, but it is also fucking Bungie. And they have more money than God. They can afford to do this stuff. Like, they're like, yeah, Destiny's going to be ready when it's ready. You know, and we have more staff here than ever, and look at all of our cool stuff. But even then, it wasn't outlandish. Like, it wasn't completely unreasonable. You know? It's like, oh, we have a cafe there that's like, it has a fireplace, and it's kind of nice and looks nice. So, yeah, it's a place for people to eat. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's not ridiculously ostentatious, is it? You know? But I don't know if it's that, or if it's just money's just not being spent in the right way. I don't know. If games are taking 400 plus people to make, I have to wonder, well, what can we do from a technology standpoint to not have 400 people working on one game for 3 years?
Especially when 2 people can make an indie game that's 10 times better.
We've heard about that. But we could talk about advertising budgets as well, but I very much doubt that most of that 100 million went on the ad budget. I don't think so.
But I mean, even with that, I get, like, I can understand spending a ton of money on ad, especially for, like, Tomb Raider, for example, when they're trying to say we are rebooting the series.
Yeah, here, guys, Tomb Raider's happening again. Yeah, it's important to do
like,
that.
I get that, but still, that's a lot of money. And then for them to say, like, in order to recoup the cost, I would be like, if I was at a board meeting and they said we need 5 to 10 million and we're going to keep spending money, I'd be like, guys, stop spending money and just lower our estimation, because this is insane. There's no way we can make that money. It's just not a thing that's going to happen.
Well, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a budget is decided for something like this, it's pretty much like set in stone, isn't it? Like, you give a bunch of money to, like, advertisers and you're like, spend all of this.
Yes.
Like, figure out how to spend all of this. And that's why eventually sometimes they just wind up being like, what do we do? Just, do you want to hear have
really
this?
weird stuff that happens? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, like talking about having frivolous, weird things at your company as well, I think that that's also sometimes what happens, where they're like, well, we have all of this money at the end of the year that we kind of have to spend so that taxes don't bonus. So, hey, let's just spend it on all of this weird stuff.
Yeah, there's someone gave an interesting perspective, actually, and that's the budget for Star Citizen right now is 21 million. And that game is looking like one of the most ambitious games of all time. And it's not an Uncharted lookalike like Tomb Raider was. Not that it was a bad Uncharted lookalike, but let's be honest, the inspiration is worn on the sleeve.
Oh yeah.
At least it would be
Absolutely.
if your main character wasn't wearing a tank top, but you get the idea. It's I don't know. How on earth can you sell 4 million copies and be a commercial failure? It still just keeps coming back to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
What? There's a list here of the top selling games of all time, and the units sold. So like, for example, 3DS, the number one 3DS game was Super Mario Land 3D, 8.29 million.
Yep.
Of all time.
That probably cost about $27.50 to produce. So it would...
Xbox 360, they show like how many copies were sold, things like that. It's insane. If you look at PC, when it comes to PC, where'd that go?
Minecraft would be pretty fucking high on that list, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
PC, The Sims 2, $20 million. Diablo 3, $12 million. And then
you're not dollars. You're talking about sales.
Copies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
20 million copies to Sims 2.
Yeah. Then if you go down to the top 10, the lowest of the top 10 is SimCity 3000, 5 million copies. So basically, they were saying Tomb Raider needs to be one of the best games ever made in order for us to consider this a success.
Well, it doesn't really mean that because it's a multi-platform release, and like the PC is always going to be the smaller slice of the pie for now.
But even then, PlayStation 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, 17.3 million. PlayStation 3, Gran Turismo, 10.6. Right? Like,
yeah,
so
10.6 for Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm. And that's number one on this list. So
and they're complaining about 4 million. Yeah,
they're freaking out over literally nothing. Like their expectations are insane. Like that's an insane expectation. That's some Square Enix executive.
I was gonna say that's the Square Enix hover police unit is heading to your apartment right now.
That was really menacing.
I said nothing. I actually live in the world of Red. Yeah.
The weird thing about Tomb Raider is that it's also the oldest. Like, it's only been out since March or April. So, I mean, they probably made most of their money that they're going to make on that game, but they're still going to move a lot of units between sales and, promotions, especially again on the PlayStation side.
Digital sales, the long tail, Steam sales, I could just see the humble Square Enix bundle. It's on its way. They need it. They need it so bad right now.
Okay, a perfect example. A beloved, cherished game, Super Smash Brothers, 5 million units total.
What?
There you go.
It's like,
beloved,
it's a commercial failure
game.
because you didn't outsell Super Smash Brothers.
Failure.
They're insane. They're insane people.
Yeah,
Also,
someone else pointing out, like, the Dark Souls devs were over the moon when they sold 2 million copies,
Also,
and that was enough of a
fact,
success to up the budget again and again and again and continue to make games. So
Connect Adventures, 24 million copies sold.
Wow.
What?
That's insane. I think because maybe it's so cheap. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like pretty much everybody that I know that has the Kinect has that game.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like the Wii Sports for Kinect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pack-in, I thought.
Was it a pack-in?
It was a pack-in with the Xbox 360 bundle that came with the Kinect.
Okay, right.
Oh.
Even with that said, if you look at Xbox, the second most sold game is NBA 2K13. Third is Minecraft. Then there's Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Gears of War 2. Those are the top. And it's like, that's not even like the big ones that EA promotes all the time. So, Square, you were so lost. You were so lost. Let me hold you.
You poor babies.
We just need
so hard.
We need realism, because it wasn't the Resident Evil 6 thing the same thing? It sold about 6 million copies and it was considered a failure by Capcom. It's like, please you got to be realistic. Like, this stuff all came out during the time when there was the shrinkage in the industry as well. Like, the people were just buying less games for console overall, because they're pretty much because they're waiting for the next gen and they're waiting for stuff to excite them. Because let's be honest, last few years of gaming in AAA have been fucking boring. Mm-hmm. They really have. What have we had? First-person shooters, Uncharted-style third-person cinematic movie games, which is what I like to call them, and sports games, and that's kind of it. That's been the AAA space the last couple of years.
Yeah.
NBA 2K13 is really the second best-selling game on that platform.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That should speak volumes, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I had no idea.
What is Sony PlayStation 3 right now? Gran Turismo 5, 10.6 million. God of War 3 is next. And most of the Sony stuff is very low. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, 4.8 approximately.
On just that platform?
Yeah, on just that
That's
platform.
still pretty good, you know, because it was on 360 as well. Which I believe it probably sold more copies on 360 because they had that old promo thing going on with it.
Final Fantasy 13 on PlayStation, 2.9. So, I mean...
Huge commercial success.
Massive success.
So good.
Three sequels.
Last of Us, the greatest game ever made, according to most people. 3.4. 3.4.
Did you know, by the way, we all lost our credibility with people by saying that, you know, we didn't actually kind of like...
You just didn't get it, TB.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
You just don't get it.
Here's the thing.
You're just not willing to, like, try new things. And you just like to be contrary. So,
story-wise, I thought it was a
yes,
fantastic
obviously.
game. Gameplay-wise, it was an unbearable mess of trying to move the... No.
Jesse, you're just too old. PC didn't understand the controls.
When the developer's like, no, we made it hard because it's supposed to be hard to shoot, that is stupid.
I've talked about that before, and I've talked about how that is the wrong way to do it. You know, there's plenty of other ways to make scarcity a thing and make the difficulty of aiming a thing without making the controls bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I have
With
a
that
massive
said-
record of disliking things only because other people like them.
With that said, though, speaking of controller, Diablo 3, still shitty story, but the release on the PlayStation actually kind of, like, plays pretty well.
I've been told it's good.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They changed the angle to make it, like, instead of, like, more of a top-down thing to, like, where you're sort of running sideways-ish. It's crazy pants. Like, it's not a side-scroller, but it's still very cool, and it plays... I like it much better.
There's a dodge, right? You know, it plays more like a real action RPG instead of a clickathon, which actually to me is a big deal because I prefer doing like swings and attacks with buttons instead of clicking. For some reason, it's just like a little thing that I've got. Like to the point where I'm strongly considering, like, when the missus comes back, I just get Diablo 3 on PS3 and we can just play co-op on the couch. That sounds cool, actually.
It's actually really fun. Gameplay wise, it's fantastic. Again, I repeat, story wise, still a shit story, and I hate Blizzard for ruining it. But you know, if you want to have fun with friends and murder demons, it's probably the way to go because it's a lot of fun.
People kind of pointing out like Champions of Narath or like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. If it's anything close, I am all over that because they were fucking great. They were great games. I want more of that.
I don't think I can bring myself to play Diablo 3 again, though. Like, I was so bored.
I probably won't.
I was so bored when I played it.
Yeah. I played it through, I beat it once, and I refused to play it again. It's like, oh, it really begins at Inferno. You mean I have to play the same shitty game 3 times to get to the bit that matters? No.
That's exactly the same perspective I had. I was like, it's too easy. Like, I never die. I almost never get low on health. And then they're like, oh, you just have to beat it twice, and then it'll be difficult. I'm not going through this twice just to unlock hard mode. I do hear that the console version is harder on normal, though. So
yeah,
they're doing everything they can.
Apparently the loot's better as well. Like, it doesn't have there's no auction house. So the loot, they completely rebalance the loot to make less drops, but every drop actually be better. Like, better itemized, more useful. It'll, like, drop stuff that it thinks you kind of need as well. So it kind of intuitively changes, like... This sounds better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they took the criticism to heart. Hopefully.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that. I'll play that now. I'll play that expansion. And I swear to God, if they don't retcon the story a little bit, I might flip. I don't know.
Like, I'll give Blizzard like one piece of credit for the most part is that they sometimes fuck up their initial releases, but they generally fix it really well with expansions. Yeah, and. I mean, anyone that's even seen Heart of the Swarm, like, pretty much is like, this is better in every possible way than Wings of Liberty was with StarCraft 2. Reaper of Souls may very well fucking fix everything. It's still not going to mean that it's not always online. It's still not going to mean that the auction house is not a thing anymore, and that really concerns me. I don't think you can ever fix those. But it's, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll pick up Reaper of Souls and I'll try it, and I'll see what it's like.
Yeah.
But even then... Oh yeah, don't even get me started. The StarCraft 2 story doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's the multiplayer that matters, you casual fucks. It's as simple as that. All the multiplayer, all the time.
That is me. I love you, Jim Raynor.
Jesse didn't even play it on Brutal.
No, I didn't. Once I
All
beat
of
the
the
hard
weak
achievements,
sauce.
I'm like, done. I've done my job. No need to show off anymore. Done.
I could smell the weakness through the Skype.
Oh, I do not. I do not engage in StarCraft PvP. That is the danger zone.
StarCraft
dude.
PvP. I love it. You're such a WoW nerd. It's great. StarCraft PvP. Let's go into the arena. Let's earn some tier 9 Marines. Oh, God. Man, Marine Marauder Medevac is like Rogue Mage Priest.
I got it for my party. I need my medevac.
Medevac 2 OP in arenas, guys. It's broken. Please nerf.
Oh, God.
Yep.
What do you mean we're on tier 15? Fuck you, that's not real. Go to hell with that stuff. My only interaction with WoW is now Hearthstone, and I like it that way. It's got things I remember, like the Blood Thingy Raptor, and like the True Silver Champion, and like an Arcanite Reaper.
Raptor.
These are the things I remember. These are real things. This is like the first 150 Pokemon. I refuse to acknowledge anything past that.
You know you're a big ass nerd when a warrior plays Arcanite Reaper and you go Arcanite Reaper.
Oh!
No matter what.
And I'm like,
and you're alone
Blizzard,
in your room. You're just like,
I hate you so much, Blizzard, right now, because you got me back into WoW without making me even play the same game. Fuck you.
Yeah,
How
come
did
on
you
now.
manage that?
I thought Hearthstone, stupidest idea in the world. Here I am, every free moment I have. If like a video's rendering, I'm playing Hearthstone. They beat me. They beat me. You win, Blizzard.
I want it.
500k revenge crit.
I want it.
One day.
You'll get it, Dodgy. You'll get it.
I know.
You haven't sold out to Blizzard enough in the past. That's why.
I know. I really.
Neither of you,
I
Ryan. You need to get on this train.
I need to contact everyone and be like, hey.
You need to jump on that. You need to go to
That's all I'll
BlizzCon and jump on that band. Join us. Come to BlizzCon.
Well, if you can wait till BlizzCon, they're probably going to be giving codes to everybody that doesn't already have
True.
them. So, you know.
That is true. I was planning on going to BlizzCon anyway, though. So there's that.
It's
Even though
basically
BlizzCon
3 days.
it's just me sitting there watching StarCraft matches.
The tournament there should be the
BlizzCon winds up being
best.
for
Should be
me.
the best tournament of the year in theory.
I don't even watch the matches. I watch the Asian dude's hands go like this, and you're just like, dear God, that is unnatural. It's impressive as balls, though.
Cool, isn't
Every
it?
tournament there is really mind blowing. You're like, wow, okay. Good on
I'd
them.
love Warcraft
Good
3
on
there
them.
this year. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Have Greg
So, yeah,
playing
it's-
it. It'd be great.
It's also 3 days of heavy drinking and mingling with Blizzard developers. So
And a lot of smell. Like,
Yeah.
oh, God, please shower, guys. Please.
I truly believe in every goodie bag they give away at conventions. There should be a little thing of deodorant.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Well,
Just hand it
MLG
out.
was sponsored by Speed Stick at one point for a good reason, and it was the best MLG ever because it was so much more pleasant. Anyway, I don't know how the hell we got here, but
Is there anything else? Any other big news to talk
big
about?
news? Not really. I guess we can talk about releases, then we can go to break and we can have a look at some trailers because Tokyo Game Show's got some new stuff, and then we can
like
wrap up. So let's have a look at what's coming out, what you can expect, and of course what is already out this week. Big releases this week for PC, as you might imagine. Amnesia. Yes, a machine for pigs.
Oh my God, I
what's-
forgot about that.
What's that about? Is that a thing we should be aware of? I feel like people keep asking about it, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
this really obscure indie game that literally nobody's making hundreds of videos about right now.
Top-down
Right.
real-time strategy game, squad-based
Yeah.
shooter.
Pretty
Right,
much.
yes.
Yeah, it's
Football
got some collectible
simulator.
card game elements in it.
Car game football simulator top-down strategy
Yeah,
shooter.
you can trade out different kinds of lantern, and there's like different rarities of pig for
There's
the
a big
machine.
social structure in there. You have a varying number of
Yeah.
parts depending on whether or not you've given gifts to the other football players.
It's actually like a dark remake of The Incredible Machine. Basically, you have to make this machine for pigs. It's just brilliant. It's genius.
Yeah, it's really cute, I think, is the
Yeah.
number one takeaway that I had.
Yeah, it's like it's an Angry Birds spin-off. Yeah, but it's focused on
a
the
machine
pigs.
for pigs!
A machine for pigs, yeah.
You firing the bird? Oh, that's cute.
That's actually
cute.
That's funny actually because the pigs game is actually all about building machines for pigs to have them. I found the crossover. It's right here.
Ah, it all makes sense.
There's a couple of great quotes that Slowby from Retsupere retweeted, and I love this. Wanted to see some footage of the new Amnesia on YouTube, and all I see are million thumbnails of asses posing like the kid from Home Alone. And then the other one, if you want to see a lineup of people who have never felt real fear, just do a YouTube search for the new Amnesia and look at the thumbnails. Like, yep, pretty much. I got to ask Ryan about this because you actually do have a Let's Look At of that out right now. Like, can you summarize your thoughts and tell people where to go to watch that video? Because I'm not going to fucking cover it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. So,
It's like Amnesia, it's really moody and atmospheric, but it's dividing a lot of people who are fans of the original because they took out some elements of scarcity, like no longer do you have to get lantern oil. There's no like sanity meter or health meter. It's kind of plays like Gone Home or Dear Esther, where you're just like walking around being scared, and the puzzles.
Did the Chinese
really
room take out all the game from the game again? Because I'm gonna slap them if they did that.
Wait,
more or less.
What is that? I mean, I'm like saving this because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save all the scary games people want to play for October, and I'll do like a scare-a-thon and have fun. Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm in no rush. I got a bunch of other stuff to do. But if you're telling me that it's like, I assumed that it was, the change was now rather than being able to hide from the monsters and they just like, oh, I'm dumb and walk away, they can like break through doors and shit and get to you. But you're saying like that's not even
right? At least in the original, a couple of them could.
Yeah, there is an element of like stealth and hiding from monsters, but I haven't finished A Machine for Pigs yet. I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through, but it's definitely been a lot less hiding and a lot more just kind of like, I don't know, being scared. Kind of like you're pressing W to move through the story, and you're gonna get scared as it goes.
All over again. Fuck.
Some people like it, some people don't.
I'll hate it.
I like it a lot more than the original Amnesia because I'm basically really stupid when it comes to puzzles, and not having an inventory makes it a lot easier for me to actually complete the game. Like I rage quit The Dark Descent. I didn't really get scared. I was just like, can't find this key. I guess I'll stop playing this game forever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's dividing people, and I think deservedly so.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to what you just said because I had the exact same problem with Amnesia. That and the fact that I absolutely hate scary games. But the fact is that the gameplay mechanics being taken out, I don't think strengthens the game. It's like, just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean you should take that stuff out, right? Because there are a lot of people that were very good at it and would appreciate if you didn't take all the gameplay out of the game. And it kind of makes me fear that the Chinese room's influence had that happen. Because what I saw when the Chinese room said, oh yeah, we're involved with Amnesia, I'm like, great. Like, Chinese room are really good at creating these really atmospheric art assets, yeah? That was the best thing about Dear Esther to me. Like, the rest of it was terrible, but that was great. And I was like, great, awesome. So you can help the Frictional Games guys out with that, and then they can work on making another good Amnesia game. It'll be more atmospheric, it'll be great. And then apparently there's a bunch of gameplay elements that disappeared. And I wonder if it was Chinese Room's influence that made that happen, because that sounds so Dear Esther-like to me, or whether Frictional just said, you know what, we don't think that's a good idea. So I don't know.
I know that they've said before in like blog posts and things that it kind of went back and forth between being very much like the last Amnesia and very Chinese roomy, and they tried to find kind of a mid-ground, and I guess this was the mid-ground that they decided on.
I don't know if I like that mid-ground.
So, we'll see.
Sounds of it. Yeah, but again, I am judging a game I haven't played, so by all means, just go and watch NorthernLion's video on that subject. You just saw a little bit of it in the clip right there. It was dark. You probably didn't see much, but...
Yeah, should have upped the gamma on that one.
Yeah, gamma that thing to maximum. That's going to cause a problem for you.
I think that's also a funny thing. If you're trying to record games like that, you always have to turn up like the gamma on stuff.
Because people can't see it otherwise, and then people are like, oh, it looks stupid now. Like, oh, guys, we can't
like you're ruining the atmosphere. You turned it up. Well,
you couldn't see anything if we did this. We've got to think about the viewers, guys. Come on, please.
I had to censor a little bit of nudity in the game, and the comments I got for that were like, I understand why you had to do it, but I don't like it, just if we're taking a vote. I'm like, sorry,
There's
like...
nudity in the game?
It's like ambient atmospheric nudity.
I think it was like, it's just isn't it just a painting?
It is. Well, there's paintings, and then there's also like a digitized photograph, and that's where I thought it got into like a gray area.
Well, YouTube's really bad about that. I mean, we heard about the guy who got his entire account shut down for like half a frame of nudity that he accidentally didn't edit out of a LP of it was KF, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That makes me laugh because Miley Cyrus's new video is basically her being naked for all of it. And it's on Vivo and getting millions of views. Yeah, go for it, Jesse. But
that's Vivo, and there's an exception for that because they have more money than we do. So
Miley's above the law.
Yeah, but not for long. Keep watching my Hearthstone videos.
Right.
Watch all of them. It's a license to print money.
Soon,
Watch
I
more
shall be
Hearthstone and I will be
Cyrus.
more powerful than Vivo.
Soon TV will be twerking.
I will twerk all over you, internet.
9-0 or we twerk.
What were we talking about?
Twerking, a machine for pigs.
That's right.
Twerk.
Oh dear. Puppeteer, PlayStation 3. My copy just arrived today. It's a platformer, which I usually don't like, but I was attracted by the fact that it's got a bunch of cool shit in it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. So
It's only on PlayStation?
yes, it's a PlayStation exclusive that kind of came out of nowhere. It was shown like briefly at E3, if I recall correctly, and then they just... Oh, actually, no, there was a big E3 stage demo of it. It was part of like the big Sony conference, I think, where they unveiled the PlayStation 4 or something, so they kind of ignored it, I suppose, but... It is really cool. Like, it looks-wise, the look is amazing. As you might imagine, it's all kind of done as a puppety theater thingy. Like this. And it looks kind of great. Let's up the fidelity. There we go. That appears to be some kind of bear. And the bear is angry and talking about this crystal thingy. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't even. The bear's back. Yeah.
It looks really cool, though.
10 out of 10. Would buy.
10 out of 10.
That bear is
bought it.
pissed. 10 out of 10. All the justification you could ever need. So, I'm looking forward to trying that out. It might not be my game, but I want to support it on the basis of the fact that it's got a really cool aesthetic. And I'm
Looks
horribly
cool.
shallow.
Yeah.
There's a tiger, and it's angry as well. And look at that fucking dragon. 10 out of 10. There we go. That's all that's required. So yeah, Puppeteer. That's out right now. You can buy it. It's cool. Killzone Mercenary for Vita is out. This is like a good multi-format week. There's like a good game for every platform right now, by the looks of it. Killzone Mercenary getting, for the most part, very positive impressions.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. It's a lot better than Burning Skies was, which is good. Because that wasn't very good at all. That was like... We've had bad luck with the Vita for first-person shooters. We first got that Call of Duty game, which was the worst thing to ever exist.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And then we got Resistance Burning Skies, which was a real disappointment. And now we got Killzone Mercenary, which is apparently pretty good. So, yeah. Yeah, Killzone Mercenary, guys. Killzone Mercenary. You can get that. That's a game. And it looks like Killzone. It's like, Killzone's this murky green game. A lot. Like, you remember the first two Killzones that had this really murky green look to it, and then they finally got rid of that in Killzone 3, and now they're going for the whole orange and blue thing, which everything else is going for right now, but some of that murky green is still there, and that reminds me of, wow, everything looks the same. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of terms on the screen right now that I don't understand. Filmic graphics processing, volumetric fog.
Those are really important to the experience.
Yeah, vital.
I mean, you know,
If your
can
game
add
doesn't have
more
volumetric
volume
fog,
to
then
the
just don't even
fog,
waste my time.
just
Dynamic
really-
lights. You know, I get that. Dynamic lights. That's something that makes sense to me. But there was something else
those
earlier
words.
that made no sense.
What is?
Screen
I
space
know-
reflection. Oh, don't even get me started with screen space reflections. Also known as the frame rate killer. Don't. Oh man.
Can I move on? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm skipping Kingdom Hearts HD and NHL 14.
How dare you?
But what is,
Sacrilege, where I come from.
I know, I'm sorry. But what is Elder Scrolls Anthology?
It is
it's an
all
anthology
games in a box.
of all the Elder Scrolls
Yeah. And there are 5 maps. 5 maps in that
in a box.
None of them are made of cloth, though, so it's all irrelevant.
It's exactly what it says it is, Dodger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the games in a box.
5
Every single
maps. 5.
one. Yep.
Like, if I was to represent the
Talk
number
to
of
me
maps...
like I'm a babby.
If I were to represent the number of maps with this small packet of Haribo Gold Bears, there would be... These are really hard to open, by the way. I don't know why they designed them this way. Alright, so this is one map.
Uh-huh.
Alright. 3 maps.
Uh-huh.
And 5 maps.
Right.
I feel like this is just an excuse for her to eat.
It is.
7 maps.
He calls me every podcast. I have not eaten once today. You
8
couldn't
maps.
handle it.
8 delicious fucking gummy maps. 10 out of 10.
A lot of perfect scores this week. It's a good week for releases.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a gamer.
I'm done with all of you.
Yep.
I'll be
She's
back.
out. She's out. I can't figure.
Damn, I needed us to talk about girl
what is
fights.
happening in her. What is happening in that girl's apartment? What the shit is going on back there? That is in. Is that a mini fridge? Why does she have a mini fridge? What is happening? Girl is. Someone go clean her house. Someone go. Nothing. Hi.
Dodger, we need you. Because we must.
Here.
You need to talk about girl fight.
Oh God, girl fight. Looks like the worst game on the planet. In the edge
Tell
of
us
the
more.
world, where an evil company grabs a bunch of ladies with psionic abilities and then puts them inside of an electronic world and has them fight to the death. That's girl fight.
Wait, what?
That is the premise of girl fight, and I did not expect it to actually ever be released.
Why is there a video that says girl fight, new game for Sega Dreamcast, sign the petition last year? What?
It sounds like a Dreamcast era game where it's like, we got girls with attitude and put them in the Matrix.
It doesn't look good.
Here are 40 seconds of girl fight trailer from Machinima. Girls are back because they had left.
You know
previously.
what girl fight reminds me of? That game Rumble Roses.
Oh,
remember
dear
that
God.
game?
Oh.
Basically, just another excuse like
We
we'll make
have-
it one-handed controller optional.
We have psionic abilities. Ergo, the best thing that we could do is to thrust our ass at the opponent. We have grave psionic powers, but we fight like idiots. Girl Fight, available for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 right now. What the shit is this?
Oh, I gotta get that.
Why is it that every character who, like every American woman character, always by law has to have a bikini on that has the American flag on her boobs?
I love
Every game. I don't even care anymore. I think that's one of my favorite tropes of all time.
There's like
Boob
nothing on YouTube
flag.
about this. Like there's one off-screen camera thing from GDC, and then there's the trailer, and that is it. That is it. Except for that whole Dreamcast thing, which makes no fucking sense. Admittedly, it does look like a Dreamcast game, so...
It looks awful. It doesn't look good.
Oh,
It
wow,
looks
that's
like they just
incredible.
grabbed all of the girls from
Oh.
Dead or Alive, and they were like, let's make really crappy versions of all of these
Oh,
characters.
no, you have no idea. Watch this. All right, I'm going to show you something hilarious. This is off-screen gameplay footage. So, one of the psionic powers is that. You are suddenly on fire, so all you can see is the thong. Great, that's
Hold on.
perfect.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You see? You see what I'm talking about there? That's absurd. Let's watch it again. Can we do slow motion?
Slow motion.
I don't think we can, actually. No, I don't think we've got the ability to play it slower, which is unfortunate. But there you go. There it is. There you go. That's... Oh,
Who's publishing this?
I assume nobody. It is by Kung Fu Factory. Let's find out who they are. Ooh, that's,
Can I ask a question? So a company has kidnapped them. Where are they fight? Like, why are they just fighting in the middle
Why are
of
they
like
fighting?
a rundown?
Why are they fighting?
Highway.
Oh dear, it's an American independent
they're
game developer.
Because remember, they're teleported inside of a
Oh
virtual
god, they have
world
made
to
no
fight
good
to
games ever. Let me tell you what these guys have made. These guys are horrible.
Yes.
Okay, so they
wanna
made
play this
UFC
game so
Undisputed
badly.
2009, Hello Kitty Seasons,
Yes.
Supremacy MMA, and Supremacy MMA Unrestricted, which, if I recall correctly, are both considered to be fucking dreadful.
Yes,
they
go
have.
on.
All right, so Girl Fight, Bellator, MMA Onslaught.
I played that. It's terrible.
Yeah, Spartacus Legends,
Yes.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run, SpongeBob Moves In,
Yes.
which is a city building game, I think on iOS. It's a cow clicker. Domo Jump and Slot Revolution.
Yo, Slot Revolution is actually an underappreciated gem. It's my game of the year last year.
Yeah,
Hey.
I desperately look.
Uh-huh.
They also developed Mortal Kombat Unchained for the PSP under the name of Just... Yeah, was it? What is it? Fuck, I can't even find it there. Where'd it go? Supposedly
You
they were
send me a
involved
free
in that.
copy of this game, company. I
Just
will-
Games Interactive. Yeah, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Oh, God.
I want this game so bad. This has to be. I need to play this. I need to experience this game because videos
Miley
and
Cyrus
pictures do
is
not
a
do it
lockable
justice.
character.
Oh my god, how is this even a thing? Like
This is why people laugh at us. This is why people say that gaming is sexist or misogynist or whatever, because this dumb, shitty pandering to teenagers continues to exist.
Those are strong women. They're fighting each other against male patriarchal society.
It takes a lot to be stupider than Dead or Alive. Like, I can take Dead or Alive more seriously, because at least it's women beating up men at times, you know? Even though all the characters are ludicrous. Here, it's just blatant exploitation. God damn it, guys, really? You know, I respect your right to make it, but your game's probably shit.
Yeah, if it was a good brawler, then
It's not even got a
sure.
good name.
It's not.
Girl
though.
Fight. Girl Fight. That is the best you could come up with.
I'm gonna wait for the Game of the Year edition.
What, does that include the expansion pack, Man Fight?
Spoiler, it's just all the girls dressed as typical men outfits.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Like a plumber and the president.
Oh, yeah.
And
But they're all slutty versions of it.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
slutty plumber and slutty president.
Slutty Abraham
I
Lincoln.
am waiting for that inevitable HD remake of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. So.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, can somebody make President Fight? Now I just want there to be a
That already
slutty
exists.
Abraham Lincoln character.
That was
Oh.
an iOS game. It was actually kind of.
Did it have slutty Abraham Lincoln? That's all I want.
Didn't it use the Infinity Blade engine? I'm pretty sure it did. It was like an Infinity Blade game with presidents. It was actually kind of fun.
Abraham Lincoln's hat has to turn into like a cannon, and
Yeah.
FDR, his wheelchair flies. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That'd be an amazing game. We need that. Get on that. Don't make another Boobs the Jiggle game. Make presidents murdering each other. That sounds amazing.
Oh god, you want to know what's what? Oh Jesus Christ! I'm
What's
sorry.
yours?
I just saw the box art for it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like it's a porno, right?
All right, yeah. Let me. Hang on. I'm
Hold
trying
on.
to.
It looks like it's supposed to be a
This
porn
thing won't
game.
scroll
I'm sorry.
down. What the?
Right.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to move my screen.
Oh.
Okay, that's the box.
Oh, wow.
There's like, yeah. Just like that.
You know what the final nail in the coffin is? You want to know who's publishing it? Microprose.
I don't know what that
They
is.
still exist.
They were bought by an airsoft gun company. A bad one, Cybergun. I hate Cybergun stuff. Like, my only Cybergun gun in my collection doesn't work. Like, they're kind of mid-range, shitty licensed airsoft guns. And they now publish, under the Microprose name, the most beloved publisher of my yesteryear alongside Bitmap Brothers, that published classics like Master of Orion 2. Those guys, yeah?
Not
The guys
making Girl
that
Fight,
published Incredible Things are now publishing Girl Fight.
I
Doesn't
love,
look like they want to
I
fight that much.
fucking-
Yeah,
no, they
box art-
don't.
They just want to make out. That's what that box art says.
The best part of fighting is making up. That's true.
It's like when I saw mom and dad fighting when I was 5.
Sounds like a good time to go to a break. But but no, we do need to talk about the rest of the stuff. We shouldn't
They
ignore
settled
what
the
else.
fight with wrestling. It was crazy.
Obviously, yeah.
Hey, Daddy, what?
Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter HD.
Yeah. Wait, please show footage. Please.
I'm gonna try.
Show
This is
footage.
gonna be
Yes.
difficult because
Show
all,
40p.
we looked before the show. It's all terrible. Like,
I
it's just,
like the one that has like the rock music, and he's like, "I'm hunting a T-Rex." It's like
Carnivore's Dinosaur
It has
Hunter on
so
PS3
many
in
tunes.
true HD 1080p. We'll just completely ignore the fact that the game is in 720, but he upscaled this shit.
At least
You
it's not
gotta-
in 4K.
No, that we can't. It's not even in true. I hate this guy. Like, I hate this guy already. You don't want to know why I hate this guy? Because he said it's in true HD 1080p, and he letterboxed the motherfucker. He didn't even get the resolution right. What a scrub. All right.
Get off the internet.
Prepare to experience Carnivore Dinosaur Hunter in true HD 1080p.
TV 2013. Oh my gosh.
Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter HD.
So beautiful.
HD.
Oh gosh.
E.
Feel the fear, the true dinosaur fear.
True shrubbery poppin'. 2 stages.
Oh,
We cannot handle this HD.
more.
It's too detailed. At 1080p.
Samples.
I like how the dinosaurs wiggle when they walk. I think it's very cute.
Dinosaur Miley Cyrus twerking simulator in 1080p.
Dinosaur twerk.
Oh, it's got aim-down sights. The Desert Eagle has the recoil of your average cyber gun airsoft weapon.
Wait,
in
the same guys who made Girl Fight?
1080p. Name Stegosaurus.
Yeah, you killed a herbivore. You're a real badass. The texture quality.
So
Can I ask what the setting of this game is? This like Jurassic
What the
Park,
fuck
where
is that in the air?
You're a big game
What the-
hunter. Like,
That's the fucking Millennium Falcon.
What's happening?
In 1080p.
that's how you got there.
Pick
Han
up the
Solo
science
flew you
pressure.
back in time to murder dinosaurs.
Thank God the Stegosaurus is magnetic in 1080p.
What? What?
I'll have you know that did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
I like how they just pick
fucking-
up the dinosaur like it's a,
Oh,
we're good.
wow. That draw distance is approximately 25 meters. Wow.
Oh my gosh, look at that horizon. It's so well done.
Carnival's Dinosaur Hunter HD on PlayStation Store.
The best part is that pterodactyl was just like flying around.
It's
like,
the
"What's going on,
fattest dinosaur.
What are we doing right now?
It's the honey boo boo of dinosaurs. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Magnets, guys.
Is this actually a remake of Jurassic Park Trespasser? Because it damn well looks like it. It
Oh, that'd be hilarious if that was the case. And they just had to
actually looks
retitle it.
worse, if you can believe that. Worse. Wow.
Worse?
God, I will gotta thank XX-Ash9949XX for providing us with this
Yes.
amazing footage of this killer game. Oh, underwater!
Yo, he's
What
big
was he
in
trying
the
to go
dinosaur
for?
hunters niche.
What name was he? XX Ash XX69 FF7 Sephiroth. Like, no, stop it. That's the worst name.
Yeah, you know what? You know how difficult it is to find? Because apparently some people are saying this is Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter. It's not actually in... This is not the HD version. I fucking well hope so. What is the HD version? There was nothing on YouTube at
Yeah.
all of
Can't
this.
find it at all.
As far as I can tell, all of this is a year old. There is
But
nothing.
it's coming to PlayStation
It's okay, guys. There's a
Network.
reveal trailer. The classic best-selling dinosaur hunting simulator. That sounds like a joke that I would make.
What? The classic bestseller.
All right, do you like filters? You do, don't you? You love
Yes.
filters, right? You like
Yes.
filters that make
Yes.
things look better than they really are? Behold the majesty of Carnivore Dinosaur Hunter HD! Sepia filters! We are Instagram the video game! Look at this, we have a cell phone, it's
Oh,
incredible.
beautiful, 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 yes.
This doesn't look any better! This just still looks
There's
bad.
more foliage. Hey, they put in more trees, more foliage, things, textures improve.
That's the only thing on YouTube. The only thing. Carnival's HD, which is actually a remake of the 1998 original. And apparently it's also a 5-year-old iOS game.
I don't know
It
what
does
you guys are
look
talking
better.
about. It looks
It
pretty
does
good.
look
to me.
better.
Yeah, it does look better. You know, I'm not being fair to that. It definitely does look better. But I'm not entirely convinced that game needed a remake. I'm really not.
Yeah.
The original was so definitive. Like, I don't know why they had to botch it all up.
Yeah, why ruin the story? Like, it ends, it ties up so well.
Exactly.
Why ruin the story?
Don't mess
I
with
want there to be a
perfection.
really good story, too. Like
Yeah.
a really in-depth story that's like,
There's
oh,
like plot twists. Just like,
Well,
whoa.
This is actually made by the Chinese Room.
Oh.
so
obviously.
really, it takes the entire game to get to one dinosaur to kill.
You
but the
press W,
experience-
the dinosaurs just die before you arrive.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was just going to
you
say.
receive a letter
you're
from the
actually uncovering
dinosaur
the story
explaining
of
what
how all of
happened.
the dinosaurs were killed.
Yeah.
That would be an
Everyone saw it as a
amazing story.
cutscene.
There's an HD launch trailer, guys, that's like 3 minutes.
Jesus.
Oh.
Which starts exactly the same. This is all pre-rendered. Is any
What's
of this
really
actual
sad
gameplay?
is this is probably the most coverage that this game is going to get. And it's
Yeah,
like
and they're going to
so-
write to us saying, how
Right.
dare you represent our game in this way? Look, seriously, you got representation. Stop complaining.
oh my god, I just had the best idea for a game that contact me. People, publishers, I want this to happen. It's called Dinosaur Hunter, right? And you hunt dinosaurs, and the
Right.
entire game is you're going through and you're experiencing the story of hunting dinosaurs. And when you get to the end, you find out, hey, dummy, dinosaurs have been dead for 65 million years. You're an archaeologist. Dinosaur Hunter.
What a
you realize-
twist!
You realize you had a pick the entire time. It wasn't a weapon. It was a pick to dig up dinosaur bones. $1 million.
The ground texture and the foliage look just the same. Like, yes, you've put some lighting effects on, but the texture quality on the ground looks exactly the fucking same.
But the dinosaurs look better.
They do, yes. They obviously, and you have a gigantic crossbow view model that takes up half the screen, which is always reasonable. Right. Use your smartphone to locate your nearest Paraphilosaurus.
That's because they've got tracking devices.
Obviously.
So,
yeah. That's why you get an iPhone 5S, because you have dinosaur tracking capability.
5C.
5S Gold.
5S Gold.
5S Gold, because you're a pompous asshole. That's why you need it.
Oh my. Well, it certainly does look a little bit better. I'll reserve judgment. It'll probably never make it to PC anyway, so I guess I won't even have to. But they replaced the Millennium Falcon with a quad drone, which looks equally ridiculous.
Beautiful.
Oh my. Wonderful. Carnival's Dinosaur Hunter HD, ladies and gentlemen, the most coverage it will probably ever get, coming out. It's actually out, I think, isn't it?
I'm going to do a 200-part Let's Play.
Perfect. Just like daily runs of it.
Exactly.
Daily
Gotta
runs.
dominate the SEO.
What NorthernLion, what's with all those misplays in Dinosaur Hunter HD? Honestly?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I do not engage.
Do not engage. Yeah. Totally true. Is that out? I think it is. Yeah, that's out now. So you can actually try that on PlayStation 3 if for some reason you wish to. I don't know. It might end up being the best game of all time, but somehow I'm gonna go probably not. just get that out there. That's about it, really, isn't it? Like, next week, obviously, is GTA 5, so that's going to be the thing that dominates. Oh, yes, and the World of War 101 comes out on the same fucking... It's not the same day, but it comes out in the same week. Jesus. Yeah.
Foul Play comes out on Friday. I don't know if you guys played that at PAX.
Foul Play. I did play it at PAX, which means I need to get my video done. Fucking Incognita came out on Early Access today.
I know, that was crazy.
Damn it, I haven't put out my footage of it yet. And you're probably going to get it out before me, so I'm going to commentate it and then upload it immediately.
Fight!
My footage is 720p. I can upload faster than you. It's cool. Let's go. Yeah, so Incognita is on Early Access, and as you said, Foul Play is coming out on Friday, which is awesome. Foul Play is great. It is a brawler. It is the most British of games. You are a British man, like one of the old explorers, who is recounting his life on stage, trying to entertain the audience with the best combos. And it's all done in the style of a stage play, including all the weird stuff that would happen during a stage play. Like, the scenes change in the background, the janitor occasionally wanders on stage, like, enemies have the wrong costumes. It's brilliant! And the dialogue is hilarious. It's
really fun.
Yeah.
I was about to make a Hamlet joke, but I held it in.
Oh, that's
proud
bullshit of you.
Hamlet
What do you got?
2.
What do you got? Come on.
Hamlet 2.
Hamlet 2.
Oh, my joke was just going to be, and then it turns out that you're playing your uncle who killed your father. That was the joke.
Ooh.
And then I decided not
Good thing you didn't say it, but then did.
I know, and then I did, because everybody awkwardly paused, so I held it anyway.
Yep. So that's about it. I think that's a good time to go to a break. Like, when we go back, we will have a look at some TGS trailers and we'll round up and try and tell you things. We're the Game Station podcast sometimes, but other times we're the Co-optional podcast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional podcast.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
What, Jesse? What's wrong?
Nothing. While we were coming back, someone is just cutting.
I was cutting things before.
Is this like revenge from my gummy bears?
What are you doing? What are you...
Eating a peach.
God damn it.
The healthy alternative to gummy bears.
Fuck you. Gummy bears are good for the digestion. I actually do own probiotic gummy bears. Those exist.
Really? Yeah. I know other people
There's some science behind that, apparently, because putting the stuff in the gummy bear means that it kind of reaches the place it needs to intact, as opposed to kind of losing itself in the stomach. So apparently that's a legit thing.
I would have thought that the
demographics
I wouldn't think would overlap too much, like middle-aged ladies who care about their gastrointestinal system and people who enjoy gummy bears.
Everybody enjoys gummy bears. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm not a big gummy bear guy.
So old, you just don't care anymore.
I'm just gonna kick you off like that other guy. You've just insulted me far too much.
You don't like gummy bears?
I don't really like gummy. This is feeling like an
I need a
inquisition
second
now.
bag of gummy bears
Yeah,
just to make up for it.
Well, Canadian, so you know.
It's true. We don't have gummy bears up here. We have real bears.
Not as
We eat
delicious,
the shit out of them.
but equally difficult to open. Oh man.
What now? What are we doing?
I mean, gummy bears. Know about the rest of you.
Oh my god.
They're only tiny
Trailers?
packets.
Should we watch some trailers?
We can do that, yeah. We can watch Gummy Bear Eater 2. I mean, God Eater 2.
Uh-huh.
Let's do that. It's like 40 seconds. Let's do it. Let's go.
The next one.
特殊変色パパーツの発信を確認。周囲の争いを呼び集めた。エリナさん、バイデン危険域です。交代してください。回復アイテム完了ゼロ。各位、サポートお願いします。
Well, that sure was Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's kind of like a beloved sort of franchise, I guess now.
But it's only got like one game in it, if I recall correctly.
Well-
God's Eater Burst.
I don't understand.
I might be
it
wrong
at
there,
all.
though.
I don't understand it at all. Not at all. I don't. That was giant sword the game with monsters. Looked like Monster Hunter
that's
to
God's
me.
Eater
I
in a
don't-
nutshell. It was an action-adventure game. You killed a lot of big monsters with big swords and things like that. So, that was a thing.
Okay. Is that,
There you go.
I feel like it's a very, I guess that's like a really popular genre in Japan. Like, you have a giant sword and you fight a big monster and you just do it over and over and over again. Like, screw all the getting there. Big monsters are where it's at. I guess that's a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, apparently it sold like 610,000 copies in Japan, which is a good amount in Japan for a game like that. So, yeah, that did pretty well. So I guess they're getting another one.
Great. Good on you.
I have no comment on that one, though. I don't even know. But they did show a game called The Natural Doctrine. And I think this may or may not have some translation over it, which may or may not be a good thing. So let's have a look at The Natural Doctrine demonstrated at the Tokyo Game Show.
Kadokawa Games built a new development studio, Kadokawa Game Studio, and decided to release as the studio's first series of titles a brand new fantasy simulation RPG called Natural Doctrine on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita platforms.
That was it? That didn't tell me anything.
Doesn't tell us anything about the game.
I don't even know what that was about.
There's
When
a
they said
game, and we made it. Done.
Assault through the world by natural selection. What's not to get?
What is that?
Here's my absolute
These
favorite
trailers
part.
are all terrible.
The beginning of that, the first 30 seconds, I swore, because it's a game called Natural Doctrine, that it was about, like, nature. Because you kept flying through the sky and it was water, and I was like, I think I understand what they're trying to say here. And then it was like, now monsters and shit. Like, what?
Huh?
What is this game? Oh. I don't even
get it.
It looks like it could potentially seem a lot like the last game that we looked at.
As in, we don't... So, I can find some more information. So, Natural Doctrine is being made by some of the guys that made Lollipop Chainsaw. I don't believe I don't think Suda 51 was involved in it. It's a fantasy RPG, and nope, that's it. That's sorry, Polygon's article is 50 words long, so they know about as much as we do. It's got single player and multiplayer.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
We know what it's for?
Good.
PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Vita.
Okay.
cross-play available as well.
Did you see
That's
that
it.
water effect, though? Oh my god, guys.
I just have this funny feeling that Tokyo Game Show trailers are probably not what I was hoping for.
No, let's see some more.
You want to see some deep down?
More of them.
You want to see some... Okay, my XSplit just crashed, so... we're probably still on the air, but I'm going to have to restart the stream, so just give me a moment.
Okay.
Alright, this trailer's pretty damn clearly cursed, because it has crashed the streaming client twice now, so I'm afraid we cannot show the rest of that. And it's probably for the best. Unfortunately, the translation on it is not great, so... Well, I did hear a bit about, I assume, procedural generation, because they were talking about computer generation, so I assume the translation really meant procedural.
3 things. One,
Yes.
Ono is the cutest man who ever lived, ever. Most adorable human being. 2, we need to get the entire country of Japan to take a course on trailer creation from like some dude in Hollywood. Any Hollywood trailer creator. Because literally, I think almost all the ones we've seen right now, and pretty much every other Japanese trailer for a Japanese game is literally men walking over and over, still walking, over the top music, over the top voices. That's the trailer. Like, where's he walking to? What is happening? Oh no, a dragon! Now he's still walking. It's like, there's got like, in the world, you must not face me! And it's like, and he's like, still walking. It's like, what the shit is happening here? And then, I feel like they just stole the whole Assassin's Creed premise. Because, like, I want to go where you go. And there's like a future tech lab or something? I don't know what.
Yeah, it takes
Like
place in
Assassin's
2094.
Creed, Dark Souls. That's
Yes,
what it looks
yeah.
like.
And it's an online co-op focus as well. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed meets Dark Souls, online co-op focus, some procedural generation. That seems to be the kind of bullet points of it.
Interesting.
Looks like the best of the 3, in my opinion.
It definitely, yeah. But it's
At
also
least I
when they
know
hyped
what the
it
fuck it is for the most part. That
They
helps.
hyped it at the press conference with like like if you remember the PlayStation press, they were like, "Oh, the fire and the graphics in it are incredible." So this is one they definitely are pushing. So hopefully it's
been
good.
announced as a PS4 exclusive now, so
Yeah.
Is it from the same studio that did Dragon's Dogma? I kept
it
hearing
certainly
it.
looks like it, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Definitely has something to do
Plus
with that.
the music. If the music is anything like the first 5 minutes of Dragon's Dogma, like that opening song in Dragon's Dogma, fantastic. Make it happen. I want all of it.
Yeah, so there you go. That's deep down. We still don't know a huge amount about it. You know, I've definitely come to the conclusion that showing stuff from Tokyo Game Show is a waste of time. Because it's just like, the way they present trailers is just not the way that we kind of want to see them. So, hey.
Yeah.
Those guys were walking though. You saw their legs moving.
Nice.
Fantastic.
They walked so well.
To see things. I mean, he was going to show a little bit of it, but then the thing crashed, so I guess that's our fault. Alright, anyway. I think that's probably about all we need to watch from that. That seems like a good idea, because these trailers are unfortunately not ideal for just getting anything from, really.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening in any of these games. Which is unfortunate, because I hope Tokyo Game Show kind of be a goldmine for that stuff. I don't know, maybe it will be in the next couple of days. We'll see. Never mind. Never mind, guys.
Nope.
No, indeed not. So, funnily enough, that kind of leads us to the last 15 minutes of the show, and since we didn't even talk about the games we've been playing this week, we should probably do that. We're rearranging things. We're changing things up.
Okay.
It's innovation.
Very much so, yeah.
Innovation.
Is it because I'm here? Because I can just
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. They would have to redo the whole show. Stupid.
That would probably be worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine won't be all that interesting.
It never is.
I know.
So why don't we start with you? Because you'll also be the shortest.
I'm playing Towerfall, guys.
Oh.
I'm playing Towerfall.
To be fair, for me, it's just like, I've been playing Hearthstone, guys.
See, we're all terrible. Can't pin this on me.
I played Brothers, I'm cultured. Get out.
We're all terrible.
That could be the subtitle for this podcast.
We're all terrible, or I
Co-op
play
little
Brothers, we're
podcast.
cultural. Get out.
We're all terrible.
Yeah, we're not bad. We're not great. Let's be honest. We're definitely subpar. Gotta say.
Yeah. Towerfall and Harvest Moon. That's me. The newest Harvest Moon game, they try to make it so that you are putting an entire town back together instead of just your farm, and it feels a little overwhelming right now. They like start off the game with a bunch of people being like, we've got to leave because we can't make any money here anymore, and everybody's like, oh, it's so sad to see them go. Maybe they'll return one day. And you know that if you make the town successful enough, eventually in the storyline they'll come back. Yeah.
Then can you treat them like shit?
Yeah, you'd be like, no, you can't come back because you didn't believe in me. Yeah. And they always have the premise of, man, one of your parents at one point in their life bought this farm, and for some reason they were able to keep it even though they moved away so that they could have a family. Thank goodness you've come to this podunk town to take over this farm. I'm just like, why? Why would I do that? I need more info. But, yeah, most recent Harvest Moon game, judgment is still out on it.
Okay.
So there you go.
Fair enough. Good assessment.
Thank you.
That has not increased my desire to play a Harvest Moon game.
You would hate it, so you might as well not.
Good to know. Thanks for that. That saves me a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, come on.
Ryan, what have you been playing this week?
Lots of stuff as usual, but Cliff notes it to the stuff I've been playing a lot. I played through Brothers in a couple of sittings earlier this week and liked it a whole lot. And anybody who watches gameplay footage and writes off that game because they think that it looks dumb.
Idiot.
Yeah, they're just dumb themselves. That game's really, really good.
You're still dumb.
I'm sorry to tell people in the audience that you're dumb. This isn't my channel, though, so I can say whatever I want.
At all. You say whatever the fuck you want. It's no impact. You're attacking my audience, and that's fine by me. You go right
exactly. ahead. I've been playing a lot of Splinter Cell Blacklist, as I have for like 4 weeks, and I really like that game, even though I like it a lot. I played it through on normal difficulty, and it's a little like Hitman Absolution-y, where you can kind of shoot your way out of problems, but I'm playing through on Perfectionist right now, and I like it a lot more. It's more stealth-focused. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm still terrible, but that's the face I make while I play the whole time, by the way, too. And I really like the multiplayer as well. I think it's really
how
good.
Is that? Because it's good. That's Mercs versus Spies, right?
Yeah, they brought back Spies versus Mercs in like a classic mode, and then also kind of like a Call of Duty. Like we buffed it up a little bit. We added drones and all sorts of weird gadgets, and I don't like that as much. But the classic mode is awesome, and there's enough people playing it right now, and I hope that continues for a few months. Played Eldritch, which is the new roguelike from those X2K guys that people are going to be hearing a lot more about probably soon. It's HP Lovecraft inspired and really interesting. And Spelunky, but I'm not going to go into that. And a little bit of Volgar the Viking as well, which also comes out on Friday.
That game is a dick.
It's really hard.
Super dick.
Yeah.
Super dick. That game is the dickiest.
It really is. I was standing there with the devs playing it, and they were like, oh, you're doing really well. Like, they're obviously patronizing, kind of like, please don't give us a bad preview. I'm like,
I like it, but I hate that there's no saves. And I know that that's like a commitment to their design aesthetic, but at the same time, it's like, I don't have this kind of time. Like, I can't sit down here and not open another game.
Yeah, you play
for, like,
Spelunky? Spelunky doesn't respect your time at all.
Spelunky's not a game, man. It's a way of life. It's an esport. I gotta put in my like 3 or 4 hours of Spelunky practice a day so I can stay on the Diamond League.
Right.
Diamond League.
I'm only half joking, by the way. It's a shame to say I am. I really wish it had saves. If it had saves, I could be like, even if it made fun of me, it's like, you can play casual mode and it'll have saves, you cretin. You don't understand how to play old games. I'd be okay with that. But it doesn't, so I'll never beat it, even though I kind of want to.
My entire piece of footage from PAX is the first level. And what I've just I'm going to rearrange it so it looks like I'm gradually getting better, even though it's not remotely true.
After PAX, they tweeted, and they're like, nobody at PAX beat the first level. You guys need to shape up.
I got pretty close. Like they said, I got really, really close on one particularly good run, but that game kicked my ass. It is super Ghosts and Goblins.
Yep.
But they even kind of use the same sort of armor system, but they have each individual thing you pick up from a chest gives you a new ability, but there's also a piece of armor that can be knocked off, and once all your armor's gone, you're dead immediately. And the game tries its very hardest to kill you.
And sometimes it does it unfairly, like old school unfair deaths where you're like, shut up!
I disagree. I really do. Like, there was one death which was bullshit because they told you, oh yeah, you could just slide down there, and then I fell into a spike. And it's like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's a bug. I only think he was half serious, but no, I'm pretty sure it's not unfair. No, it's like I gradually thought my way through that level. I'm like, yeah, this is okay.
I have jumped to a platform, and then a guy off screen jumps on the same platform because the platform's so small I can't back up to defend, and he hits me and I lose a piece of armor. It's like, was there no way to beat that? Because
Probably had to throw a spear.
But unless you move forward, he wouldn't have shown up. Like that kind of like progressing. Like that kind of BS. I'm like, oh, old game anger. I feel you in me.
You just
again.
have to move slower. Yeah. Once you eventually kind of get the, once you get the rhythm of it, you move slower, and then it's like, oh, here I've just got to move this. There's one bit where you can't do the jump unless you do one jump backwards and then forwards.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that is
that
the worst
bit's
part
like,
of that level.
That was horribly unintuitive. But once it told me how to do that, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can get that.
That's the kind of thing, like when you get beaten by really easy obstacles like 10 times in a row, and then eventually you get some
like
form
bees.
of proficiency. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out, and you're like, okay, this is how I deal with the enemy, and it's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I beat the first level in my video because I practiced for like 2.5 hours or something, but then the second level just handed me my ass again, so.
It's rock hard. And that's
Very
seems to be the thing right now. Like, people love rock hard games, so hey, why not?
Rock hard.
Deep down.
Deep down, so rock hard.
Rock Hard Games would be a great name for a studio, too.
Yeah, totally.
The studio that made Girl Fight, probably.
Yeah, exactly. That's their next game title.
Not
You
so
nailed it.
flaccid games.
Cool, that's me. That's what I've been playing.
That's what you've been doing? All right, Jesse, what you been doing? Spin up.
Final Fantasy 14, like crazy.
Okay.
I am actively trying to
Sold
get
back out to them, I
level.
see?
What now?
You sold back out to them, I see?
Oh, I can't. I mean, I can't give a judgment on the game. I think, I mean, until I get to the end. But it's beautiful. The music's great. The stories actually gets really, really, really good. Gameplay wise, it's the biggest meh I can ever give a game. Like it's like meh.
Well,
Like
I heard the
can't.
mechanics are just like bog standard.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing. I can't think of anything special of the gameplay. Like, there's nothing questing and gameplay wise. Like, there's nothing special or new about it that I can see at all. If you like story a lot, you will like this game. I think the story gets really, really good, but it's an MMO. So much like Star Wars: The Old Republic, once you complete it, I don't know, because I'm not end level, so I don't know, but I don't know if there's any end game stuff worth your time. So I can't really say if I would buy it or not. One of the things I do like is like Final Fantasy XI, you can play every single class and level them all up and switch classes really quickly on the fly. So if you switch your weapon, you switch class. Once you learn a class, so you can, or job. So I guess you can be like,
Sure.
I want to be a summoner. So you switch to a book instead of a staff. So you go from black mages. I mean, it works. I like that. But again, because you have to level up a bunch of classes or jobs, there's 12 billion daily quests you can do, and I am not a fan of those. But because they're in different areas and they make it a little bit more fun than just doing the same thing over and over and over again, which I think is okay. But again, I'm not a fan of dailies in any form, so I was literally like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna level up a black mage. I'm gonna get my 2 classes to make that and be done, because I got no time for the rest of that garbage. And I just want to see what happens, but I don't know. I mean, story-wise, it's pretty great, and the music is fantastic. Visually, it looks gorgeous. Like, the spells are great. The goblins, who look like the exact same goblins from Final Fantasy XI, have this new, like, firework ability that looks fantastic. Like, visually, it's great. But, again, gameplay-wise, what you do most of the time, it's like, I can get through maybe 2 hours a day before I cannot play anymore because I get bored. Like, getting between the story moments is a chore, and it's only the story keeping me going. So I don't know. I'll wait to give a final review till I beat it, till I get to level 50 with a black mage. But until then, I mean, I don't know. If you really, really want a good Final Fantasy story, sure. But other than that, I can't recommend it right now. I mean, there's got to be, if there's great stuff at the end, great. But I don't know. It's highly mediocre.
That's too bad.
10 out of 10, then.
Apparently people, like, I've been reading some reviews and everyone's like, oh, it's the story alone is the reason to buy it. I'm like, I don't know if that's the case, guys.
No. Do we have to go back to my talking about brothers where I talk about how you properly deliver a story in a game? Because it's not fucking by daily quests, I can tell you that for a fact. Just saying. That it? That's been all you've been playing? Aside from Hearthstone, I assume?
I mean, Hearthstone and speedrunners have been playing that for fun, just because I want to get better, so I can actually be good at that game and destroy people. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, besides games for the channel, I don't really know that I have been playing much. Yeah, Hearthstone's my go-to. Like, if I'm rendering a video, it doesn't take much and it plays great. So Hearthstone, get it
or try to.
Yeah, try to get it.
No,
good
guys,
luck.
there is no try. Do or do not.
Do or do not. There is no try.
There is no try.
Right. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yep, so I played Brothers. Or should I say I sold out to Microsoft to
Sell
play
out.
Brothers.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh my god. TB, I can't take your word for anything anymore.
I'm sick of how astonishingly dumb some people are.
Go on.
It's just so silly. It's like, yeah, totally. Microsoft gave me a sack full of money to promote a game on PC 2 months after the Xbox release that was published by 505 Games, a competing publisher. That fucking happened. They also paid me to say, don't play it on Xbox, play it on PC because it's better there. They fucking did that. That happened.
What a giant
I
sellout.
have a massive history of selling out to every possible video game. I don't know.
How
what
do
you're
you
talking
live
about.
with yourself at night?
Yeah. So there's this account on Twitter. I have no idea who runs it, but they're doing God's work. It's called Total Halibut Text. And it lists some of the fucking stupidest quotes, apparently from people that post comments on my channel. And the Brothers thing was a gold mine. It was just beautiful. So let me read to you from the book of Total Halibut.txt, chapter 1,
Please do.
verses 5 to
Chapter
7.
1.
Verses 5 to 7.
Preach.
Yeah. So, I will read the word. And the word is...
Sell out!
Yeah, there's that. Dear Lord TB, you are easily pleased. Why do you always have to be rude, total shit skit? You like this one? You like this one, Jesse? TB has always preferred story over gameplay, so I'll take this review with a pinch of salt.
It's just a bitch.
And a follow-up.
Not a grain. Look.
Yeah, and a follow-up, I assume this is from the same guy. How can you deny this? You gush over stories all the time. I hardly ever hear you be so enthralled by gameplay. Who the fuck does he think he's watching?
I think he was watching.
They're confusing you with Jesse.
I am convinced. I'm convinced of it. Oh, God.
I
Let's see.
prefer story over literally everything else in a game.
Yeah.
And
the rest of these I'm going to do in silly
you are not
voices
that.
because I think I believe the XKCD plan of YouTube comments is great. There should be an add-on which reads your comment back to you before it lets you post it, because I feel it would make and it would sound something like this. TB, your opinion or not, the reality is the controls are garbage. The puzzles are stupid linear, and the story was just flat out boring.
Just like that, please.
Yes. If there's one thing TotalBiscuit is good at, it's making bold, hyperbolic statements to get video views. TB has a massive record of disliking things only because others like it. TB, I'm sorry, but this review sounds like an advertisement. You lost some of your creditability.
I imagine he thinks like, TB's losing a lot of money right now. His credit score, 650.
Credibility is just going down the poop.
His credibility.
If TB honestly feels this is Game of the Year material, he needs to rethink his channel. I swear this used to be a place for hardcore gamers.
Amazing.
And this one,
That's really good.
Everything is capitalized, so I'm going to try and approach it the way that you would say it were everything
And
capitalized.
go ahead and take these off.
Volume alert, yeah.
Okay. TotalBiscuit! This is your worst review I have ever seen. Either you are a sellout, or you have lost your edge.
Wait, whoa.
What?
The only options available for you are you're a sellout, or worse, You've lost your edge.
Is he talking about my Razer tablet? Because it's like over there. It's like, what's this about?
Oh my god. I want some guy to come up to you on the street and be like, I used to look up to you, and spit on the ground and walk away.
What, you mean like that guy on Reddit who said that he's like unsubscribed from all of us because we didn't like The Last of Us and apparently we can't be taken seriously anymore? Yeah, that guy.
Good for him. Yeah. Stand up for your principles.
I would rather someone be like, fine, I'm done watching you, than be like, I'll still watch you, but
I will yell at you in every single video.
Yeah.
I'd rather just walk away.
We had this guy on Reddit who created 37 separate accounts, and it was like, he'd obviously watched each and every video because he was talking about stuff that were like in the middle of the video, and was like manipulating everything to basically lie about it. And like, you created 37 separate Reddit accounts, watch all of my videos, but you hate me. Like, what? You're obsessed, bro. Yeah, if you want to follow that account, I don't know why you'd want to follow that account, because I think it would give you a horrible headache, but it's, I don't know who runs it, but it's Total Halibut TXT. You're doing...
Give that man a raise. Give that
I don't
man
know if you're doing God's work or Satan's work. I think probably a bit of both, really. He's living on the edge between angels and demons.
God has no
He's the Nephilim of Twitter. That's what he is. Oh, God. Yeah, I still believe it as well. Like, after several days having sort of reflected on Brothers, like, yeah, I still think Brothers is easily my game of the year and is a good contender for my favorite game of all time, just because of the way that it made me feel and the way that it very much demonstrated how you don't, it's not even tying story into mechanics, because it's transcended that. Yeah, it's not, how do we tie the story into the mechanics? It's transcended that entirely. They just made a good game. Yeah, because all of this is part of the game. It's not separate bits. It's all part of the same whole, and this cohesive game that takes you to this conclusion, and that's so special. Ridiculously special.
I agree that it's really, really good. But the most flack that I got in my video was for being like, at first glance, it might look like this is a game where online co-op would be really conducive to the experience, but it's not. It would destroy it. And people were like, wow, how is online co-op a negative? Like, you've totally sold out.
You don't understand. You don't fucking get it. You really don't. You've got to play the last 20 minutes of that game to fully comprehend exactly what Ryan means there. And he's fucking right. I can't tell you because it would spoil it. But you need to play it through, and once you've played it through, you will understand exactly what he means. Right. And I'm just sad that some people didn't have the same experience with it. I'm just sad. Yeah. Like, I feel pity for you if you didn't. I had the most amazing time. Like, that's unforgettable 2.5 hours of my life through a video game, which is very, very rare. If you can't share that, that's really sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So... fuck anyone that says I sold out to that game. We're just like banning anyone that says that. It's like, to be honest, like, it makes perfect sense. Like, why would we want anyone that doesn't respect my opinion to follow my channel? What's the point? My entire channel is my opinion. If you don't believe me, well, what the fuck are you watching my videos for? Jesus. They're just waiting for the inevitable Terraria return. That's why they're still around.
One day.
Yeah. Yeah, so Brothers. And Hearthstone. Shitloads of Hearthstone. Devouring my life. Arena mode only. I don't play Constructed. I played about 30, 40 games, I think, in total of just with this one Hunter deck in like a day. Got to like Diamond 2 and like, you know what? Arena's just more fun. Like, there's so much variety, and you have no idea what you're going to come up against, and you're not going to come up against the same decks over and over again, because you never can in Arena, because of the drafting system, and it's like, I can just keep playing! I know I have to pay for the privilege, but if I suck less, I don't have to pay. If I do well enough, I get enough gold to play it again, and just, the missus was complaining, it's like, why has the business account got 40 charges to Blizzard on it? It's like, well, I played a lot of Arena the last few days, I'm sorry.
Can I also state for the record that Hearthstone's brought out the dark side of our dear friend Krendor, where literally he's just buying packs over, and I think he needs help. Internet.
I told him I had like 10 legendaries, and he just raged. He's like, I've opened like 200 packs, so I got one.
He keeps buying more, and it's like, dude, you have got to stop. Stop.
I actually have pretty much everything I want now, really. Like, I think, like, cards-wise, I probably dropped $100 on cards. And then, like, maybe, like, $40, $50 more on arena plays. And I've got pretty much every card I could need, and can probably get enough dust to get the, like, little gaps in my deck. It's just if you want to collect all the fucking legendaries, or you want your entire deck to be golden cards, then that's relevant. But last night, I got a, not last night, sorry, a couple of nights ago, it's on the video that I did the Paladin deck, I got a golden legendary. That DEs into so much dust, you can buy any other legendary in the game with it. It's incredible. Like, you get one of those, you can trade it for any other legendary card. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I just want to address one more thing, by the way, because some people fucking took this the wrong way, as they always do. Someone, like, tweeted me and said, "Oh, honestly, telling people you feel pity for people that didn't feel the same way about a video game you did, that's kind of low." No, I genuinely feel sorry for you. I want you to experience the same emotional highs and lows that you did, that I did. I want you to experience that. I really do. So, you know, don't you dare call that petty. That's me being concerned for you. So
we need to have a discussion, a big boy discussion, about speaking in the, like, general you. Guys, if the shoe don't fit, you don't have to wear it. Like, not everything's a... When we're saying, you said this...
we don't mean general. You specifically.
We don't mean you specifically. You know? We mean you, the general population of viewers. Don't take everything so... It's not a personal attack against you. Please.
No, it really isn't.
I get the same thing, too, where it's like, oh,
we don't know who you are. Like, we actually don't. We don't know who you are. And
thank you for watching. When I say you, I'm talking to the asshole who was like, rah, 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 rah. That's what I mean. I love...
Yep.
That, guys. That.
Yep. Just
infuriates me when I get like, you don't understand. We love you. I know.
We know that.
I got you.
We're not attacking
you, bro.
You. Oh.
Stop looking at me like that, Dodger.
The urge to kill the awkward silence was so strong, but I was like, no, how long can it go? How long will this go? It's just forever. It could have gone forever. I could have never left.
So, what are we going to be showing on the channel this week? Let's talk about that, shall we? Ryan, why don't we start with you? What can people experience over the next week or so?
On my channel?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Polaris, and I was like,
no, fuck that.
Myself out.
I don't care what's on the Polaris channel.
I do a series called Let's Look At, which is kind of superficially similar to WTF is. Going to be looking at Volgar the Viking. I've had videos up on Brothers.
I've been looking at Volgar the Viking before him.
So, pardon me?
Because I'm a dick. All of that SEO, give it
Fair
to
enough.
me. Give me the SEO.
I'll get the delicious runoff traffic. We'll just collude in private to make sure we have different opinions so that people go back and forth between the videos.
So you're going to hate Volgar or you're going to love it? Because I need to take the opposite view.
Okay, I'm going to... Well, you're going up first, so you should, I guess, lock in your opinion.
All right, I'll despise it from the perspective of someone that hates Spelunky, and then you could praise it on the basis of someone that loves Spelunky.
Perfect. I think that's a great angle for both of us from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, that should work. Do you want to coordinate our tags after the show? We can do that.
Yeah.
I'll despise it on the fact that you're a Viking who dies. That is unrealistic. If anything, you should come back stronger with more armor and, like, chicks that hang onto your legs and you can fling them at enemies. That's the game we need.
I think that would cause its own kind of controversy, if I had to guess, if you're throwing women at enemies.
That would not go down well.
Independent women. They are helping you. They don't need you.
Those strong, independent women that don't need no Viking.
I'm looking at a lot of indie games this week. I'm going to be playing Foul Play.
No, that's so like
kidding,
you.
Right? Legend of Dungeon comes out on Friday. I'm going to play
Yay! I love that game.
Yeah, it's super awesome that it's finally coming out on Steam. I'm just looking at my itinerary here. Might look at the Mark of the Ninja DLC that's been out for like 2 months.
Yeah, it has.
Lots of Spelunky, lots of The Binding of Isaac, and lots of my own live show that I do on Twitch. So pretty typical week for me.
Cool.
Ow!
Cool. Jesse, what's coming?
More of... We're going to finish up Dishonored, the Bring More Witches, because that's a fun game. Saints Row 4. Oh my god, guys. The episode that came out today, the last 5 minutes, is the sexiest thing you'll ever see.
It's so silly.
Ever. And just more fun and getting stuff done, and probably Hearthstone, probably some more Omicron, the huge, and then Fan Friday stuff and Greenlight on the weekends. And my parents are coming to town on Thursday, so expect a post here soon that's like, if you had to ask my parents any question for a Q&A, what would that be? And trust me, they'll probably answer anything. They are as shameless when it comes to that as me. So just don't be pervs, internet. Don't be weird.
Tell your mama said hi.
You know what?
Yeah. Tell her I said hi too.
She'll be like, "Oh, those guys, they're so sweet on that podcast."
Didn't she like get angry for something I said at one point?
I'm sure she gets angry at everything you guys say, and then she's like, "They tolerate my son, so what the shit?" I'm convinced.
Nobody else does.
That's her attitude.
Someone's got to take him.
Convinced that that's her attitude. So my parents will be here. I feel like my dad should have his own one as well, his own Q&A, because that's gonna be wacky as balls. I don't even like. What do you think of the internet? My dad would be like, weirdos, all of them.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Filled with weirdos.
Your dad knows she knows what's up. It's cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a thing probably next week, and I can't wait. So stick around.
Ta-da.
So, Dodger.
Yeah.
What's coming on your channel aside from videos of cats?
Videos of cats.
Okay.
On Press Heart, we have news Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yes.
We started up with Off again. Jesse and I were able to record more Dead Space, so we've got some gameplay coming up this week. On Dexterity Bonus, I do a daily vlog where I drink coffee and tell you about my day, and sometimes cats will show up in the background, or I will pull them into the camera because they're adorable. And that's my life. So come hang out if you want. Twitter @DexBonus, Tumblr dexbonus.tumblr.com, Instagram is DexBonus. I don't know what the actual URL is, but come hang out. I love you all. Thank you. Mwah. There, did it.
Jumped on the kissing bandwagon.
Indeed.
Mwah, mwah.
All that.
That's how you kiss the internet.
Like a fish?
Yes.
It's the mild sense of horror that's involved in it, I think. That face is the internet, actually.
Gross. What are you up to?
I have 37 more PAX videos.
Holy
probably.
Jesus.
Yeah, if I actually have... It'll crash as soon as I send people to it, but I have a Google Doc with all of my PAX stuff on it, which is color-coded by what's been done, and it's got notes and everything written on it. It's this gigantic fucking database that you can... If you go to my subreddit, you'll find a link to it there. And that's got a list of my stuff, and I'm kind of slowly making my way through it. I was working on the Batman video, but then I got this weird thing with that B-reel, so we're just sorting that out from a PR standpoint, and then it's going to be like it's a Batman video with impressions of Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, and an interview with the Origins Blackgate like studio owner, which is pretty cool because he talks about the Vita as a platform and also Metroidvania. He's got some really cool ideas about how that's supposed to work, so that was cool. And I have so much stuff coming up. I will be prioritizing stuff like Volga the Viking because that is coming out later. I will prioritize Incognita because that just came out in early access. I've got a playthrough of that where I almost didn't die, so I'll show you that. That's pretty cool. What else? I'm probably doing this Hearthstone thing daily now. I don't want to promise it because when I don't do it, you'll get upset. But right now I'm playing enough Hearthstone to the point where a daily video doesn't seem unreasonable, and people are watching it like huge amounts. I'm going to be entirely frank, I am making bank off those videos. So I'm going to keep... I'm just saying, it is feeding my Hearthstone habit. It lets me buy more cards, so I'm going to keep doing that. So, like, everything in the video, yep, Takedown. I'll probably do Takedown this week, because I have great footage of that, of me shooting the lead developer in the back, which is fantastic. So we do that. Maybe some Recoil. And I've got so much stuff from PAX, and that's not counting all the stuff that I haven't done WTF of over the past few weeks, which I was supposed to do. Like, Splinter Cell. And, like, not Total War, because I'm still boycotting the fuckers. Like, still, Zafe House Diaries.
You can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah,
if you try hard.
Yeah, I'm thinking we name characters after members of the Co-optional podcast, and we get more upvotes, because people love that for some reason.
Yay!
So, yeah, we do that.
I put a Terminator T-101 and Steve Harwell, the lead singer of Smash Mouth, on my party for the end of the world.
Perfect. What else could you possibly need? Sounds absolutely wonderful.
Hey,
Castle
now,
Illusion.
nerd.
Maybe I do that. Rayman Legends. I haven't covered that yet. Probably should do that.
That's a really, really fun, cute game.
Probably won't look at Rise of Flight, even though I probably should. Chaos Engine. I'm looking forward to the disappointment. Because I loved that game previously. And it'll be bad. What else? Forced. I was going to look at that. And that stupid Turtle game, which is probably bad too. There's the Badger game, which I haven't covered. There's the Castlevania and the Lost Planet 3.
What's the Turtle game?
It's Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Turtles.
Out of Shadows.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Out of the Shadows.
I'm gonna play that this week probably too, and I hear it is unbearably difficult. So
I heard it's also terrible, but I don't know. We'll see.
we'll find out.
Castlevania, Lost Planet 3. I played the first half an hour Lost Planet 3. I say played. What I meant was I watched 25 minutes of cutscenes and then 5 minutes of linear gameplay. So that really got me going. But we'll see. I still need to do Pixel Junk Monsters Ultimate as well, because I keep missing out on covering Pixel Junk games, and that's stupid. I actually know my impressions of that game. I played enough of it to give you a side. So I got so much stuff. God, it's just silly. I've got a lot of things coming, and shortly there will be an announcement about the next StarCraft tournament I'm commentating. It's going to be pretty exciting. And I would also like you guys to watch DreamHack Bucharest this weekend, because it is the most stacked fucking lineup ever. It's insanely good. So do watch that tournament, please. There's like every good player imaginable is at that tournament, including like our entire team. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. And of course, big shout out to our team last night that beat Seoul 4-2 in the GSTL. Slap. So we are currently in the lead in that league. We are owning face. We are 2-0. It's pretty great. Awesome. And I think that's probably about it. Is it not? Are we good? Is that about it?
So.
I think so. That's good.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a good time to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. You've been watching the Co-optional podcast. Try again. The Co-optional podcast. Yes, that thing. You can follow us on Twitter. Twitter.com/TotalBiscuit, or Cynical Brit if you just want the announcements. Yeah. Twitter.com/Jesse Cox. Twitter.com/DexBonus. And Twitter.com/NorthernLion Our YouTube channels are in the description below. They're also right here on the screen. Yes, right there. You can go to our YouTube channels and watch our things so that we can pay rent. It's amazing, and I thoroughly recommend the experience. Bye, brothers.
Yay.
Quit being jackasses and bye, brothers. Stop being idiots and bye, brothers.
It's really good.
Seriously, that guy believes me as well, and he has no money. He's not been paid for anything.
Sellouts.
Look at him. He can't even afford hair. It's terrible.
TV's paying me to say that. He's taking some of the runoff and giving it to me.
Yeah. Do you want to have a bald off? We can do a bald off. You know, we can do a bald off. Oh, look, I actually still have some hair. You know,
I can't get any more bald.
Oh, I don't look like I have it anymore because my hair is black and thin, and so is my headband. It's a bald off, and you're still winning.
I still think I win, yeah.
God, you win at everything. Fuck you. All right, we're done. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you had a great time. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Mwah.